Alright, what is up, everyone? It's been a while. Holy fuck, that's loud. I haven't streamed in a while. Just been busy with real life stuff. And, you know, the thing is, it's like, even when I'm busy with real life stuff, later at night, if I wanted to, I still could stream. It's just, there's not a game where I'm like, man, I could just play this effortlessly and enjoy streaming it. It's like, no, this would be a lot of work, and I don't really want to play it, and blah, 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 so I don't. So, that's where you're at, chat. Anyway, grand writer stuff. Definitely some games on the horizon, though. Because, like, in Armored Core 6, you know, Plants vs. Zombies. That's the name of it. I don't know why, but my brain was like, that's not the name of that. Anyway, games like that, I can play effortlessly. I'm happy to stream it, and, you know, it's great. But games like that don't come along every day, so... I started Gundam. Oh boy, where did you start? I have gotten so many people into Gundam over the years, though. It's been very fascinating. I have a lot of data on, like, what works and what doesn't. Very interesting. Yeah, I'm curious what you chose for your start here. Okay. Aren't I orphans? And there were child soldiers dying. It's more like the adults were dying, really, but, IBO, if you can get through it, I think is a good starting show. If you have, like, a high tolerance for them trying to act like kids are badass. If you can get over that part, then it's good. And if you can't, worst one. So, chat, they did it again, where the... you know, Enemy Grand is a brand new character that they just added in an event, does not have new animations, blah. You know the drill. You know how this goes now. And you know, this sucks for like everybody in my opinion, because like we would be getting these servants at this interval regardless of the Grand system, right? But then the events have been like lamer and kind of just like, oh, there's gonna be the Grand, right? So if you like don't like all this grand shit and you just want that, you like the typical events and you want the new characters, you're not really getting that. And then if you liked the grand system where it's like, hey, you know, a character that deserves it gets like a spotlight and you get to see what they'd be like as a grand with their new attack animation, you don't get that either, right? So they're just being super lazy with this by like fusing them together. I was coping a bit, that'd be Wild Hunt. That'd be sick. Also, they really should just add Wild Hunt. That'd have been awesome. I mean, they added Protea, right? If you can add that, you can add Wild Hunt. I might play the PvZ remaster. I guess it depends. You know, how they do it, if it runs well, how modernized it is. Did they make it suck? All that. But I did love that game, so... Okay, let's see what people have as their grands here. We got Ricky. I forget her name. It's like such a mouthful that I don't think I'm ever gonna remember her name. It is just crazy long. We got 119. Ace, is this why you were referring to the grand success thing or great success thing never procking? I'm farming XP right now. Ah. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Wow. I mean, I hate Liz, but I do respect the dedication here. Like, Liz sucks, but, boy, this is not a support list that I can condone. You know, good for them. You don't have to have my taste. I'm just saying, if I was gonna be like, hey, this, you know, like Max, I'm like, wow, what great taste. I can't say that about this one. Could be worse, I suppose, but like even the few characters that I don't mind, they're using the skin that I do mind, so. Okay, we got Shark. Didn't realize she was a writer. Interesting picks here. Not the worst. Okay, I respect this one. This is a good pick. And 120, so that's the best pick I've seen so far. Okay, we got pretty good Jason and Asterios, right? Got some classics here. Yeah, I feel like when I don't like something, chat does. That's pretty common. Chat likes the waifus. Why always this skin? Why, like, I don't get it. not a real command, by the way. Just to be clear. Okay, I mean, Ushi, you know, Death Jolter, that's alright. More Ushi, wow. Look at the dual-wielding 120 Ushis. Also, I like how everyone uses this skin because the default ones are so bad. Why is my playlist fucked already? Don't make me bring up the Armored Core playlist. It's the only one that actually works for some reason. Every time I try to stream, my playlist just freaks the hell out. $1 billion company, by the way. Sphinx, thank you for the 40 months. I appreciate it. I haven't streamed in so long. I appreciate all the people that stuck around and still sub. And maybe we do blast the AC music. Okay. More Ryoma. I like it. Oh, what the fuck is this one even called? I don't even... There's so many, like, Artoria nonsense. I guess, like, Artoria Alter Summer Rider, I guess? That's probably the only one around here, though, that's got that. Alright, these are randoms now. I like seeing the randoms, though. This guy? Like, I don't even mind this guy, but, like... Okay, I guess these aren't grands, though. These are just, random riders. But why is he everywhere? Oh, yeah, it's fucking Maid. I've totally forgot about that. And, like, Maid Alter or some crap. I swear this game, dude. Okay, a lot of Aussies, too, here. I mean, I knew Rex would pick that. I respect it. Okay, I like that. Constantine, that's a good one. I mean, pretty varied, I would say. Definitely a lot of Aussie, Ushi, and that one dude. But, a lot of Ushi. Holy fuck. This skin really is a thing. We're gonna show off one of these two. Which one, chat? Aussie or Ushi? What do y'all think? Yeah, I could see Medusa Rider being pretty good here, and she's got that stun thing now. You get big damage, so Ushi, Aussie, 3-2. I mean, we'll end up using them both. All right, we'll go Ushi. That's true. It's not limit broken. Ooh, it's a good point. One moment. I mean, they don't even have to use Black Grail. Sometimes it's better not to. It just depends on what you're doing. There was another 120 Ushi. I should have checked. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Oh, you know art damage dealers are going to be really good here because of Boudica, yeah. Oh, hey, I can use Boudica. I'm something of a low star enjoyer myself. Let's see. So they're quick. The thing is, the anti-Roman thing is going to be stronger than, like, anything else you're going to get. He has some damage buff. I don't actually know if this is AoE or single target. I should probably check to see if there's more than one type. There's not. Okay, so it's one or the other. I mean, this is my main. Some people, like, really did not guess that my rider was going to be George, but when you think about it, I actually think it's kind of obvious I was going to pick that. Like, when you look throughout, like, my history and stuff, it's kind of like, yeah, that tracks. I mean, Kentucky's cool too, though, I suppose. But, yeah, George is quite a bit ahead of Kentucky in my book. Let's see, though. Oh, wait, I picked the wrong guy. Excuse me. That's still the wrong one. Also, the playlist is just broken. Okay, we have the Armored Core. Chat. Playlist just doesn't work anymore. Ridiculous. I mean, who doesn't love Armored Core? I actually need to add more Armored Core stuff. Because, So, there's some good music from the older games that I just haven't bothered to add to it. I really need to do that. I mean, I don't even have Achilles on... Well, do I have Achilles on my main? But Achilles has always been, like, my champion of the ult account. I don't even know. Do I have him over here? No. Yeah, I didn't think I did. But I probably wouldn't have leveled him even if I did because, you know, he's more of my ult thing. Use George to farm. That's kind of insanity. He is Bond 10 though, but I wish he'd get an upgraded NP. That wouldn't be okay, because I know he's an amazing low star, so like they don't even think to buff him. But like, no one uses him for damage, so buffing his damage would be fine, right? Like that would not be an issue. Anyway, I mean, Alex is good when you're using it quick, but if you're not, is it Martha? I mean, he gives attack up to the team, right? He gives attack up and NP up, and so does he. And he gives battery. Actually, that's fucking awesome. Okay. Blackbeard gives that stuff too. He's got buff removal and all that. He probably is the coolest pirate in the game, actually, because Columbus isn't technically a pirate. Yeah, I would say he's the coolest pirate. Like, Blackbeard in, like, actual life is really awesome, but they didn't really make him that way in this game. I'm trying to think if you start with her or start with him. If she's got to attack at least. I guess you start with him, and then hope he gets an art card that will switch into her art card. Can we have 2 of that command code? That would be great. And then, I guess Star Bomb. Either that or you could have him NP himself, which that's not necessarily bad. Having her NP herself's not bad either, though. Everybody NP, and then they can just bring Bond or something. I don't really need Bond, though. There's always QP. Anyone on this team need Bond? Yeah, no, not really. I guess I could give George Bond 11. Oh, no, he already has it. Okay. Yeah, I don't think she even has a good Bond CE. Yeah, fuck it. We'll get QP. All right. I don't even know what this boss does, so I might be bringing the wrong team here. Chat, I've gotten some people I know in real life that don't play video games at all to listen to Armored Core music, and quite a few of them actually like super like it and now listen to it all the time. Kind of funny. It's good shit, man. Okay, so I mean, there's multiple enemies. I don't know if that makes it really AoE though. Do they drop anything, chat? Like if you kill them, do you get anything out of it? Is there a benefit here? No? Okay, so fuck them. Did they buff the boss at all or anything? And you can stun him, which is a little surprising. I guess I shouldn't taunt if the unit doesn't have their own battery. Damn, they actually hit hard. Oh, the boss loses HP when they die. Okay, that's cool. That's a smart way of doing it. Because that you can AoE or single target. Like, that's fine. Damn, this sucks. This is the turn you would want to, yeah, I guess you start with Boudica. I think that makes more sense. Yeah, it definitely does. Also, I should have cast this. She'd already have her NP if I did. God, this song's good. Yeah, this definitely could have been better. Oh wait, he has so little HP, I could have already killed him by now, excuse me. I guess we'll have plenty of chances to see George's damage. So we'll do Ushi. That means I should, well... Boudica will not have her command code. So I guess we do that. Use a support NP, you can turn off their max HP up. Interesting. Alright, well, let's see what Ushi's got. She's not really that buffed up. Never mind. Not too bad. I wonder how Ozzy's gonna do. Only 3 rider support NPs. Let's see, there's Constantine, who I have on my ult, so there's that. Who else? Boudica. Everyone has that. And Boudica's really good here, I would say. Surely a lot of people are using her. Oh yeah, Reigns. I would never have remembered that because I don't give a fuck about her. 119. Let's go. Okay, he's Buster. He's a lot worse then because of that. Oh, he's 120, just an update? Damn, that sucks. I hate that. Yeah, you normally have to, like, do a bunch of drastic shit on the support list for it to wake up. Oh, Summer... I can't get over the fact that her name is Creamhilda. But, gets her Summer niche here. We'll have to try that then. I didn't really ever use her. I didn't play the Summer event at all. Chat, I'm gonna blow your minds, but a bunch of waifus in bikinis is not really a motivating factor for me in video games, so I skipped that entirely. Okay, so we can actually NP turn 1. We don't have the anti... I want to see the Roman damage, though. Fuck. I'll wait a second here, then. I just want to see it. And then I can't use, the other buff, though. There's, like, no winning here. We don't talk about Summer Miyu. What did they do? Is this something I need to be made aware of? Okay, we just can't have nice things here. The thing is, she won't do it. I have to wait. I have to. This is so lame, though, because then I can't. Fuck. Yeah, there's just no making this work. Fuck it. We'll just do it another time. Worst RNG, man. One day George will get to do something. I might as well attack, but no, we'll wait. He doesn't have the skill tree yet anyway. This Zeus sucks. Oh, what, Noah? Dude, I think it's so lame that they're like, they've ruined the grand thing for me. Like, it was so cool, and now it's so lame. I used to be like so excited to see what it was gonna be and see the animations and everything, and now it's just some bullshit new servant they just added in an event that's exactly the same. Like, great. It should have been Alexander or Achilles or George, or like, there's so many things, and Ricky Boy, so many things they could have picked that would have been based as hell, and no. And you get to see a cool new anime. Can imagine a grand NP for George, right? Like imagine how cool that would be. Yeah, or Ozzy, yeah, absolutely. But nope. That's why. By the way, that's why you won't get it. It's because that takes work. They'd have to make a new NP for George, right? And they're like, no, we don't want to do that. Imagine taking all that money they earn and putting it into the game. That would just be crazy. Yeah, I really was hoping in Kidu or Karna would have been the Lancer. That'd have been great. Who to try next? I mean, right now the enemies don't have enough HP for it to really matter. I think Ozzy will be a good one. It's just that he's Buster, and Buster kind of has the worst support here. But he also gives everyone battery and stuff, which is pretty sick. Yeah, Grand Alexander is very fitting. I think that if I was gonna pick based on who really deserves it, and I think like would resonate the most with the player base and everything, I would pick Alexander the Great, you know, or Iskandar, if you want to put it. Like Fate Zero and all that good shit, man, like 100%. And one of the most famous people to ever live. And he's just been around for so long, and he's got no spotlight this whole time. I think he so deserves it. Medusa would be cool too. I mean, she's literally the original writer, so that'd be totally fine too. I don't think, like, no one would complain if Medusa got it, right? I don't think anyone would have complained about that. I think they're gonna go easy on Fate Stay Night stuff because they're probably gonna have like Emiya or something be the arch. I don't know. Maybe every grand now is just gonna be whatever bullshit thing they add in an event. How does she never get the damn card? Alright, I don't even care. I'm going to wait until she fucking I like how she's never gotten it ever, by the way. Like, all of these turns and all these runs, she's never had it. Fucking insane. I guess I'll do this. Maybe I should have waited a turn. Solomon / Guadia, yeah, right. Grand Ivan, and they make him even bigger. Yeah, they're so lame, dude. Especially because of like what they said at the start of all this, that the Grand wasn't going to be canonical, and you know, it's for fun, and that way they could give nods to characters like Hercules and stuff, and that's great. And then now they just keep making up these bullshit stories, like, oh well, they're the Grand. It's like, what are you even doing? Like, they're trying to like cover their own tracks. I am never okay. Like, what you just said, 32, I completely disagree with, because they're not, they said this at the start, these Grands are not like the Grands they're hyping up in the story and that kind of stuff, right? They're not. So then them trying to like retroactively make a story for them to like justify them being the Grand, it defeats the entire purpose of what the hell they're talking about, right? And it's such an obvious excuse for them to be lazy and not have to make new animations. And then it's also a character that they're just adding into the game out of the blue. It's so lame. Like, you can't tell me adding in like Idra that they've never really talked about, shown, you know, been hyped up, just all of a sudden he's added. And is anyone here play World of Warcraft, right? Or Warcraft 3, right? Does anyone, like, because this parallel won't make any sense if people don't know what I'm talking about. Because like, everyone hated in World of Warcraft, they like retconned a bunch of stuff, right? So you had these like beloved characters from back in the day, and the parallel here would be like Achilles, Alexander the Great, stuff like that. You have this character Arthas, right, and Narzul, really big villains, right? And they were like really established and just real big shots in the universe. And then they made a new character that they pulled out of their ass and just made up a bunch of lore on the spot to act like he's always been important, and act like he's always been more important than Arthas and Narzul and all them. He's always been here. He's always been important. He's always been worthy. But they just made it up, right? They just made it up, right? It's that's lazy bullshit, right? And same thing with Idra. They just pulled him out of their ass. And yes, Idra is a huge thing in actual mythology and everything, but they just pulled him out of the blue, never seen him before, never had a design, and just all of a sudden he's the Grand. in a system that they even said wasn't canonical, right? So it's not like, it's like, oh, hey, you've never seen the Grand, and this is the character that makes the most sense, and, you know, now he's here. Like, no, that's literally not what they're doing, right? They were literally like, yeah, we're gonna pick things that are cool. Like, but they're not doing that. They're picking things that are convenient for them. And, like, I think if they did this, like, once, people could like, they'd be okay with it, right? If it was just Idra, if it was just Noah, right? But it's, like, all they do now. So it's, like, this isn't cool anymore. Because it's so much cooler having, you know, characters that have been around for a long time kind of get a peek behind the curtain. Like, well, if they were a Grand, you know, you can kind of see how upgraded their moveset would be, right? Because we know what regular Hercules isn't like. So then they do, you know, Hercules, and... like, seriously, anyone in their right mind gonna say with a straight face that, like, Idra and Noah are as deserving as Hercules? Like, they're the equivalent of that. Like, out of all the writers, Noah is the right writer, right? Like, that's the comparison to Hercules getting to be the Berserker, right? Like, that's so bullshit. That is so fucking bullshit. Because, again, you have characters like George, Alexander the Great, Achilles, you know, Medusa, right? They've been here the whole time and are, you know, incredibly legendary figures, and people have wanted to see more of them forever. But Noah, though, that's been here for 5 minutes. Oh yeah, this is deserved. And yet, sure, people want Noah in the game. I agree with that. But there's a difference between wanting Noah in the game and this. That's not the same thing. Look, I love the Green Knight. Anyone doubt me? Right? I love the Green Knight. If they added the Green Knight as a Berserker and then he was instantly the Grand Berserker, I would say it's bullshit. And this is what blows my mind, is like, people don't understand that. They can't fathom that. Like, it's like those people that got mad at me because I wasn't happy that Ku got buffed when Ku didn't need a buff, right? It's called putting your bias aside. I don't know why this is so hard for people, right? And if anything, I'd be more mad because I know I am biased in the Green Knight's favor, right? I've been such a fan of the story of the Green Knight since I was a kid that I know I'm crazy biased, right? So I'm gonna put that extra to the side. I'm gonna be even more, you know, skeptical. And yeah, I love Green Knight, but I'd be like, yeah, this is bullshit. There's no world the Green Knight should just be added out of the blue and all. And even them adding an event and making up a bunch of bullshit lore and stuff does not help, right? But that actually makes it worse, right? Like, you're just trying to excuse something stupid. That's why I don't like when, like, you got Mulu, that stupid fucking visual novel that I hate, but I have friends that like it. And I'm like, this is garbage. Like Attack on Titan, right? You have all this, like, this contrived bullshit, right? With the way the Titans work, and they don't need to eat, and all this dumb crap to, like, justify how they live for so long outside of the wall and all that, and they just make up all this bullshit lore. Like, they just turn into Pinocchio. They're just lying, right? They're just making shit up and then acting like, you know, this is like legitimate storytelling, right? It's just crazy to me. The Grand should have been George for real, for real. Well, mine is George, so I get to fix that. Thank you for the sub, though. Well, a lot of people aren't familiar with Noah because most people, let's not kid ourselves. Most people don't play arcade or keep track of it. Like, if you look at the numbers of, like, you know, estimated player bases, it doesn't have to be FGO, but of anything, and then how many users actually look at Reddit and shit like that, it's tiny, right? And arcade wasn't very successful, and it never came to a lot of countries. I think it was in China and Japan. Might have been in Korea too. But, like, Noah's not that known. He isn't. Like, not the Fate version anyway. And so I do agree with you, he should have been added to the game, and I'm sure he was going to be added to the game, right? So I don't feel, I'm not like saying, you know, oh, they only added Noah to, like, you know, do this. It's not that, but, like, making him the Grand, I just think is fucking ridiculous, right? I just not, and it's just lazy. It's just lazy. And by the way, it's lazy for the Noah fans, right? The people that actually wanted Noah, instead of him getting in like he normally would and getting a proper story, it's just this grand wankery, right? And it's not even a very long story from what I understand, right? So it's cheap on both sides. Like, the people that like what they were doing with Grands and wanted, you know, like how that was going, they're getting screwed. And the people that wanted Noah this whole time, I think, are getting gypped too. I think Kentucky would have been an okay pick. I definitely wouldn't have picked it. but he is kind of like a staple and, you know, been in the game for a long time, and he's kind of a meme, but I think in like a way people like. Okay, finally we got this stupid, what do you call it? Roman thing. That took forever. Watch him remove it. I think Idra is probably the one people are most annoyed by. But I think oh, we're getting debuffed. Damn, that sucks. I didn't realize it's gonna hurt Ozzy's damage here. I'm sure it's not as much as our stuff here, though. I should have done that first, like before I did George's guts. She can clear debuff. That's worth it. All right. Let's see what Ozzy's got. Ooh! That's pretty good. And we had pretty minimal buffs there. Yeah, when I first like vaguely thought about it, I was super unsure who I was gonna grand Ryder, and then when I just thought about it for like 5 seconds, I was like, oh yeah, no, it's George. Like, are you kidding me? Then his ass to heaven, yeah, pretty much. I do love Ozzy's NP. And imagine if I had better support going on there, and like I could swap George out for a buffer if I wanted to. I could make like Boudica the Grand Rider or something, and then respec back. I'm sure someone's done that. Man, if you actually summon a friend's like art damage dealer and you have your own Grand Boudica, that's pretty sick. Also, I hate this design for Noah. Like, if people like it, that's great, but I don't think this fits Noah at all. It's just fucking anime bullshit. And you might say, well, it's an anime bullshit game. Yes, but it used to not be like that. Like, they used to have a way better balance between the anime and the actual legend. And again, look at Alexander the Great and Achilles and all these things. Those work so much better. And again, it's fine to be a little anime. That's kind of the point, right? But, Noah's not really just a little anime. It's basically fan fiction stuff. Yeah, the dumbassery is more common than the normal. And by normal, I still mean anime, but I mean like normal anime, you know, again, like Achilles and stuff like that. I don't like Moses either. It's dumb. I'm tired of look, it's like when that guy's famous, you know, for like splitting the sea and all that, he's not a kid. And like that, they established this, by the way, right? That the lore is they're supposed to be summoned in their prime and or in their most famous and shit like that. And now suddenly everyone's a kid. So stupid. And like it just puts some goddamn respect on these characters, man. Where's the beard at? So I have no idea what NP type she has. I know, yeah, that's right. That's right. It's Nemo, who's also a fanfic, who's actually probably more of a fanfic. And then yet, Noah's possessing them, because, you know, that makes it better. This IP is, it's a mess. That's what it is. All right, I have no idea if she has a battery. We do have this, thankfully, though. Let's see. I could have all of them NP if I wanted to, I think. Well, not George, actually. At some point, George is going to get to NP. That hasn't actually happened yet. I'm assuming she has a battery because 2025. When Romani goes back to his, like, normal form, though, he's a lot more, appropriate, I would say. It's like, Romani's, like, the rebirth version that wanted to, like, start over, so that makes some sense. But when he goes back to Solomon, you know, it's back to business. And Romani is infinitely manlier than, Noah or Moses. Okay. Got the goods now. Again, I don't know what damage type she is, so I guess I'll just do this one. I could have just looked. I don't know why I cast that. Yep, she has a battery. One day, George. One day. What the hell? I don't think I've ever seen this before. So I guess they heard that the player base liked those shark guys. 1.5, okay. Shark Legion, yeah, that's pretty funny. I think she has a tongue piercing because sharks will like bite into things and have things stuck in their jaw and shit like that. I think that's what they're going for. Shark, Knights of the Round, and Siegfried. Is it really? I saw the Siegfried costume. People, like, sent me pictures of that. Alright, who's a good pick here? Enemy's starting to get a decent amount of HP, so... Fuck it. I don't think this is a good pick, but we'll do it anyway. I'm just gonna ignore it, chat. That's the correct decision here. The sharks are all named after Knights of the Round Table. Sharkdrid. Sharktoria. Axe Ascension, though. Okay. George with 19k HP, that's cool. She has a battery, right? I'm pretty damn sure she has a battery, so I don't think I'm fucking up here. And George, I guess, though, gets NP for being attacked, so... I'm just hoping George gets to NP at some point here. Oh, I get... Does she only deactivate them for the one turn? If so, I shouldn't have NP'd there. I guess live and learn here. Oh, no, it stayed gone. Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah, George really doesn't need it, because I could always bring him in to give battery if you're short. Alright. Maybe George gets to go burr here. Although I keep forgetting to upgrade his tree. So he doesn't get any of the damage up. I'll do that next. Hey, Marps. Time to kill a dragon. By riding a dragon. Oh, damn, he killed. Guess they didn't have much health. Oh, was there a dragon mixed in there? Like, unironically? I mean, I know I can use George, but you know, I want to kill the ad so he has HP down. I do see your point though, because also we killed anyway. Oh, anti-bronze niche. Man, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I know she has anti-dragon damage. At no point in any of that sentence was that not implied. I just wasn't thinking about using George's, you know, NP to make him a dragon. But also wasn't really worth it because if she AoEs and kills the ads, then the boss has less HP for George to hit the boss. I wanted George to kill the thing. Hello. But it didn't have enough health, so it didn't even matter. To a Roman dragon. That's been very useful before. It's not the first time. Chat, I need Armored Core 666 right now. We need this. Okay, we'll try it again. That's the second one of her that's grand. And that's not even on my friends list. That's crazy. Is she more popular than I realize? It's because of the axe, right, guys? Totally. Although, funnily enough, I think I used the mace ascension. Maces are cool, too. Space Marine 2 added a flamethrower and it's starting to hurt my eyes. We'll turn the bloom down. Okay, round 2. That's a really cool art, though, for that Bond to the E. Yeah, you know this person has just been, like, waiting for this day, because they're already 120, got the thing, like... They've been a fan this whole time. Yeah, I haven't played Armored Core 6 since it came out, but I did that on purpose. I wasn't tired of it at all. I did the 3 endings, I did some PvP, and then I just stopped. And it's because I don't want to burn out on it, and when I play it again, I want it to be, you know, good and fresh and everything, so... Alright, now the boss has some fucking health. Like, now we're getting somewhere. I don't know. I guess we'll show off the anti-dragon damage. I want to see the boss when they're nerfed by the AoE, but... They actually hit pretty hard. Holy fuck, they hit hard, because we got triple defense buff there. I could have had quad defense buff, though, just saying. I think he adds the most damage. Because, she only hits the one target, and then he only... They're not quick, so... So... Guess you do that. My George won't hit that hard until he's got the tree maxed out anyway, so... Wait, what about Boatless? And Boatless only pops in like once a year, but that guy's the best. He gets to make us all feel old as his kid grows up. Like those that were here when His kid was born. We realized how fucking old we are. 500K. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Like, once we get that tree upgraded, we'll probably get to 1 million. You know, that's actually pretty good. That's, I think, a little over 1 million per target there. Although those two didn't have dragon. Look, Ozzy does not need a model upgrade. Like, have you looked at Mozart? Like, I have never understood why Ozzy gets targeted so much. I swear it's just because he's popular. Because you gotta understand, in my brain, it is so easy for me to discount the things that I personally like, right? Put my bias aside. So it's just stupid. Ozzy's really popular, right? And I think that's why he comes up all the time. But Ozzy is so much better than, like, David, Mozart, Leonidas. I mean, like, Ozzy looks fine. He looks completely fine. His attack animations are completely fine. They're just not as good, right? So, like, once we've got all the garbage fixed, then, yeah, sure, give Ozzy an animation update and make him better. But, like, I'll hear people act like Ozzy's attack animations are so lame. I'm like, what are you talking about? Your giant orbital laser, which is canonically accurate, is pretty cool. And you see David over there hitting him with the staff, and it's like, okay, I don't know about this. Like, Ozzy's, like, body proportions and everything aren't perfect, but they're fine. Like, he's a perfectly reasonable, like, anime sprite. And there is a lot of shit in here that's not the case. Like, holy fuck. Like here, I don't like Serenity at all, right? Bias against her, but, like, this sprite is awful. Right? Like, it's not that great. That's by far not the worst, though, when I look at that, though. I mean, like, Mozart, Leonidas. Like, holy shit. Like, really? Like, you're gonna look at this and be like, Ozzy needs an animation update? And, like, my boy Blood Axe. Like, good lord. I mean, good lord, look at this. Catastrophe, dude. Let's see, who else is in dire need of, There's plenty that are, like, could definitely use an update, but I wouldn't say they're in a dire need. His is pretty bad. Definitely better, though, than Mozart and all them, but it's not great. Alright, caster, Gilles de Rays. Yep, forgot about that one. Wait, doesn't he still have caster balls? Oh, fuck. Yeah, I have Summer Crane because I got Tiamat. I had so much SQ, I was like, I might as well grab Tiamat. I'm pretty sure, I don't remember, but I think I got Crane, like, many times. Used the Liz, fine. We used a Ushi, well, it was on the very first stage, so we'll do it again when we couldn't get any buffs and stuff because the boss had no health. Yeah, Hohenheim is like one step above default animations, but only one step. I guess she's Buster. Does she have battery? Oh god, I forgot how annoying she was. Chat, when I think of FGO, like when I haven't played it in a while and I just think of it, you know, I'm thinking of like, you know, St. George, Coup, Fate Zero, Fate Stay Night, you know, Kodamine, Ricky Boy, Zeus, Mars, Ares, you know, that's what like comes to mind. And then I actually play the game, and I remember like just how much stupid shit's in the game now. Like just how much stupid shit is in this game now. I mean, Asterios' buff is like whatever, but I'm not that uppity about it because Asterios is an incredibly good unit. Right? It's not like Jekyll and Hyde, who's one of the worst units in the entire game, if not the worst unit in the entire game. And then he got a buff that did nothing at all, and it's just like, what are you doing? It's kind of like if they gave Ku a pretty niche whatever buff, I wouldn't care because Ku's fine. Like, Ku's a great unit. And like, dude, like, Asterios is awesome. Like, he's such a good unit. He will save your ass when it's, you know, it looks hopeless all the time. And, actually, I kind of like his buff, to be honest, because it just lets him do something on the side. So if you don't need him for the specific thing that he's incredibly good for, you can still use him for something else if you like him. That makes sense to me. That's why I want George to get an NP buff. Because if you're trying to be really pragmatic with George, you're not going to care about an NP buff. Right? You're going to use George for tanking, and you want him to be tankier, or have more taunt, and like an evade or something, right? That's all you're going to care about. That's the pragmatic thing to give him. But George is fine. George is a great unit. He doesn't need extra stuff. And if you like him and like Grail him, and you want to, hey, I do want to use him for some damage, then it's nice to give him an NP buff, right? And it's not going to break the meta, right? Like Asterios being able to do some damage on the side is not going to break the meta. He's not replacing Darius or any of that shit. So yeah, I don't really mind that. I would mind it though if Asterios was bad. If Asterios was a bad unit, then I would have super minded it. But yeah, he's not in that spot. So anyway, does she have a battery, chat? I'm gonna assume yes. And then if it's only 20%, I can bring in, what's his face? Like, oh, nobody knows. Oh, no, she even has 30, so I don't need, Black Bart. Okay, she is Buster. I mean, I guess it's Black Bart anyway, then. Alright. Why is she skill sealed? Does she have some bullshit like that? I mean, it doesn't matter because she already cast everything, but she's one of those. Okay, this is one of the best songs ever. I'm saying. So if you wanted to be really optimal here, because it actually seems like it's super easy to one-turn this, you just make your Grand like an AoE one, or a single target one, and you have your friend be an AoE one, you know, either way. And you just bring Bodica to get rid of the HP. And then you just AoE and then nuke. And I think this would be such an easy stage to one-turn if you really wanted to. Not the most impressive opening hand here. Any strong AoE will just wreck this. And they don't even have to be that strong, actually. Grand Harbor Trot, yeah. This Bodica luck, though. I can't decide if it's worth waiting. It just sucks that, like, I'm not using an art unit, so guess we'll see what happens. Yeah, George needs to be AoE. That would be really good here. Oh, I should have used Martha. The debuff clear, I think, is worth it. Hell, I actually think that dragon riding lady, whatever the fuck you say her name, I actually think she's really good here. Yeah, the support NPs to get rid of the max HP. I don't know, it's kind of a weird mechanic, but I guess they were just trying to supports. Yeah, you really don't need to use Bodica stuff. And if your AoE actually kills these guys, then it's even easier. Yeah, this is probably the easiest one, actually. Especially if you pick your Grand to be sensible. And then just respec it later if you want. Anyone got a Grand Medusa? Surely someone's got her at 120 and all that. I know Fury does on NA, but he's gonna pick Ozzy, so Medusa fan check. Do we have a good Odysseus? Well, there's an 101. Medusa's only 90. Oof. So is mine. Mine's like 92 or something. I will do Ushi again. Not that one. Man, I think I've seen more Ushis than anything. Like Ozzy, Ushi. Those two have been the most by quite a bit. I want one of the Ushis though that's got the MLB Black Grail. There we go. Grandusa. All right, nice hand. Oh, I guess you should. There's no reason not to do that. Yeah, the one problem with Ushi is the no battery, but at least we've got Black Bart for that. God, I wonder how the caster one's gonna go. 5 million supports, very little damage. Probably a lot of plot monks and stuff like that. Alright. We click the buttons. Now, he doesn't really have to NP, but he does give you a defense down. If I was like farming, I might not do it, but what we're doing here, try to get maximum Ushi damage here. Castoria's everywhere. You're probably right. 120 Medea with Roll Breaker and a Dream. That's Cairo. That'll be funny to watch Cairo do that. Man, if he could just kill a couple of enemies, this would be so much better. Damn it. Yeah, we would have killed if, like, these had died. Man, now he did invulnerability. You're messing it all up. We also might have low rolled. Lame. Rip. I probably could have fixed that too. I just didn't even think about it. This might not kill if we don't get lucky. Uh-oh. Well, this went to hell. This is the worst run of the day, so way to go, Ushi. You fucked up. Not really sure why she... I guess she just low rolled. I don't think that was user error. I think I played that pretty much spot on there. The cleanup crew. Okay, Martha, can you save the day? Got that defense down. Thank you, crit. The extra might have worked anyway, but those two weren't gonna NP, so they might have lived. An unironic thank God there. Martha carry for real, for real. I probably should put someone in the back in case we summon something that doesn't work out and I need some backup. Yeah, I love Precious Spark. It's unfortunately not the most popular Armored Core song. I mean, it's, you know, it's liked, but like all the different videos of it online don't have, like, generally don't even have 100,000 views. Or like some of the like straight soundtracks, like Remain and Outcry and all that, those have crazy views, and Armored Core 6 has really good views, obviously. I would like to use an Odysseus, but I don't see a super good one. He probably is the best unit so far. Man, Noah is just so lame in comparison to like Grand Perk and all that. And like, I'm not the biggest Masashi fan, but I thought Grand Masashi was awesome. Like, that was really cool to see. There's just no hype here at all. So she can NP right off the rip. I wonder if you could just kill. I'll wait a turn though. It's more fun that way. I mean, hold on. You could do all this bullshit. You miss out on the second support though. Actually, you don't have to. This is kind of fucked up, but you could switch out George. Don't use your own Grand. Let's see what happens. Yeah, this was the anniversary song. It combines a lot of different stuff. But the main thing is Remember. Somehow, over time, Remember became like the Armored Core song. It used to be Thinker, but yeah, it's Remember now. Which, I mean, no hate, I love Remember. But like, when Armored Core 4 Answer came out, Remember was liked, but it wasn't like the song. But then, like, they reused it for the final boss of, for Armored Core Verdict Day, and then the anniversary and stuff, and now it's just kind of like the song. I mean, this song has like 6 million views. Like, where Precious Park had like 60K. Like, holy fuck the difference. We did not do that much damage there. They have slightly overestimated ourselves. Cosmos is really good. I have a hard time picking a favorite. I mean, it's probably like Someone Always Moves on the Surface, or It Takes Me Anywhere, or Rain, or Fall. And I know I'm picking a lot of songs, but they're really good. Someone Always Moving on the Surface, though, is pretty special. Bodoka carry. It's like AC has a lot of good music or something, indeed. Probably Rusted Pride. I would say Rusted Pride's the more famous one. I love Precious Park. I love Precious Park. It's way up there too. And it's so cool whenever it plays and stuff. Like all the fights that it plays for are really memorable. Like fighting Starka and Red Rum, that's just an awesome, memorable level. I'm so excited for the next Armored Core game because we're going to get more Armored Core music, so that's the thing. And like, I adore the games, right? Love them so much, but I think I like the music more, which is kind of wild. Because my favorite video game is Armored Core 4 Answer, right? We better let them cook for this one. Yeah, I think they were just being too careful. And I think some of that was actually Frequency's fault. From what I've seen in interviews, they didn't want to fuck it up, right? So they kind of reined themselves in, it sounds like. Like, it sounds, like, you never know, because PR talk, right? You know, Japanese companies especially will never tell you the fucking truth. But it sounds like FromSoft was like, do whatever the hell you want, and I think they played it safe. That's what they say. But yeah, we'll see. I do suspect the next game will be more normal though, because like Disc 3 was universally like everyone was like, this should have been in the game. That's what everyone said in Japan and in America. Everyone was saying that like this is what you all should have been using. There's some really good music though from like Armored Core 3. I got some of it on the playlist, but I need to add more. There's a few like key songs that I've forgot to put on here that I need to do. This one probably adds damage. It normally does. Does anyone know? Anyone have a quick breakdown of like the really key ones that I need to care about? Yeah, I think Frequency really does have the best music for mecha. And a lot of their music's good, period, but a lot of it really just fits. It's because they use a lot of like tech, you know, sound stuff. Deploy the Life in Ash. It's on here. It's on here. If it doesn't play automatically, I'll pick it myself at some point. That's another one that's amongst my absolute favorites. I like how you can say Life in Ash with emotes. That's really good. Alright, I guess we use this Aussie. It's like far from the best, but fuck it. Is he art? It's been so long since I've used Gundam Seed NP. Yeah, Life in Ash is pretty special. Fight mechs with mechs, true. Oh, who, Pizza? Pizza, are you still here? I didn't see you answer my question about where you're starting. Oh, no, you said IBO. Right. I have the memory of a goldfish. It's because I'm old. But is Pizza still here, though? Senile, shut up, Ace. I don't remember how big his battery is. Gotta guess. Not enough, but no biggie. Although I could have saved that Star Absorb for when I had the Star Bomb with Black Bart. Thank God he got his helmet, though. Chat, there's no pizza here. We're doomed. Five-star with only 30% washed. How did we get to this point? Like, you got washed, rinsed, baked, you know, cooked. A lot of cooking and laundry. Fried, yeah, that's definitely one. I mean, like, rinsed is such a weird one. It's such a weird one. Because, like, I remember when I was young, like, that, you know, internet speak was definitely different. I'd say internet speak is actually better now. What do you think, Lost? But I actually think internet speak is better now. I think it was really juvenile before. It's still juvenile now, but it's, like, less juvenile. It's more, like, intricate memes now, where before it was just fucking juvenile. Yeah, it is kind of always crap. I think it's mostly crap, but there's still fun to be had with it. You know, when people are like, oh, I'm too good for this, I think that's kind of dumb too, right? You can have fun with it, like, relax. Skippity Riz. I mean, dude. Holy fuck. Where's Lost? I need backup. Elite speak and everything back in the day was really dumb. Like, holy shit, it was dumb. Fucking Uber and all that. I think now, like, the pinnacle internet speak now is, like, just as bad, but, like, the more average stuff, I think, is way better. Although, sometimes I'll be, like, out in public and a youngster will say something, and I truly don't know what he means. I'm like, truly. I'm like, I don't understand what that kid just said. Yeah, it's a lot more obvious now, yeah, for sure. Okay, so he's art. Thank God, we finally got the right thing here. Can he loop at all? Like, I don't know what he's about here. I'm missing my buffs. Oh wait, I can switch her out now. Excuse me. Good old Kiba. Alright, whoever you target doesn't have taunt. Honestly, the Brave Chain's probably better. I kind of just want to see it just to see it. Well, we miss out on the defense down and stuff, but I'm just curious what we get here. I do think it's weird that Charisma turned into Riz. Right? It's pretty bizarre, and I think a lot of people don't even know that. Gundam Seed meets Exodia. That's another one. Exodia, although not as popular as like Washed and Rinsed and all that, people still use Exodia like an okay amount for like random internet lingo. Like somehow that stuck around. Well, he did loop. If like you're playing a game and you get killed by someone doing something elaborate, you know, saying you got Exodia is pretty pretty understood. Or if you're trying to do something elaborate, like I'm trying to find the 5 pieces of Exodia here, you know, people know what you mean. A lot of times, and even Eyes will do this, like you'll say one shot as like in one go, right? So like in Elden Ring, you're staggered for so long, no matter what you do, right? You would have died. Like even though it was technically 2 hits or 3 hits or whatever, it doesn't matter. Like you were completely trapped, and so that's what people mean a lot of the time. Which that kind of language I think is fine. It's just like you know what the fuck they mean. He's one, and then yeah, he's not one. Okay, that I know, because I've played competitive shooters and stuff with like groups of friends and things like that, and been a full pre-made and stuff. I know exactly what you mean. People are like, he's one, and he's like, no, he's fucking not, you lying piece of shit. Yeah, it's super relate to that one. Oh, these grand events, man. They were so much cooler before. Yeah, anybody got like a cheat sheet though on any of these abilities do? I don't have enough for that one. This one frequently does result in damage off memory. Guess I'll gun for that one. Though no, I don't read them. A lot of people. Oh god, yeah, I love this song. Dude, some of the oldies really are amazing. Like, there's some fucking god tier oldies for Armored Core. I can't remember if she was AoE or not. Yeah, of course 9-ball, that's like the classic. Dude, they gotta bring 9-ball back. There's even an AI, because All Mind is not the only AI in Armored Core. Actually, she's not the most prevalent AI. It's more that she just happened to come into focus in Armored Core 6. You know, she's like this niche, you know, mercenary AI. But like, All Mind is like the opposite of 9-ball. A lot of people don't realize that. But like, 9-ball was about basically being overly conservative and overly controlling and protective to make like humanity like safe and stagnant and like in a zoo almost, where All Mind is like going to extremes to like evolve humanity to the point of like absurdity, right? So they're like the complete opposites of each other. And there is an AI that doesn't have a name yet, but there's an AI in Armored Core 6. Like, if you read all the hidden stuff, there's an AI out there for the PCA that is a lot more like 9-ball, where it's very conservative and like controlling and stuff. And you destroy like the AI core in the game, but it doesn't seem like that's like the main, that's just like a node of the AI. It's like, that's not really their base of operation. They're like a galactic force, and like the true AI may not even have a central base, but that was just its like hub there. That's what it seems like. So that could be 9-ball potentially, or certainly they wanted it to be anyway. The 9-ball is actually a really, really, really old villain. Is it before Terminator, though? Let's see. When did Terminator 1 come out? 1984. All right. Armored Core 1 release date 1997. So that's a good chunk after. Yeah, you do have Hal. He's a little different, but it's definitely the same vibe. Let's see. When was that? That was made, let's see, Space Odyssey, 2001, which is not made in 2001. I know that's an oldie. Oh god, that's an oldie. 1968. Ooh. And I think that's not even the original, isn't that? Wasn't that a remake? Although I don't know if Hal is the same in the original. Let's see here. I'm gonna do some basic research. The book. Okay, no, the book is 1968. Wait, were they made at like the same time? I'm so confused. Look at the movie and it's 1968 and the book is 1968. I thought there was more time here. How the hell does that work? Did we just make movies fast as hell back then? I'm not up to date on my Space Odyssey trivia. Yeah, AI only really took a break in Gen 4, because it's even in Gen 5. Because like Jay is speculated to be like an AI of Joshua O'Brien and all that. Which, by the way, they fucked that up in English, because in the Japanese version, Jay is voiced by the same voice actor as Joshua O'Brien, right? Where in the English, he's not. So they fucked that up. There's a lot of little stuff like that that they messed up. Now, I will say, though, in Gen 5, the AI is very different. And it is, it definitely plays a different role and whatnot, but it's undeniably like a really big part of it. Let's see if she can get any like loop action going here, out of curiosity. Oh, I have to cast this. Nah, she's Buster. That's not gonna work. Ah, I fucked up. I was dicking around. Yeah, actually, there's a lot of, there's so many Joshua O'Brien references in Verdict Day. I wouldn't even know where to start. The game is basically about Joshua O'Brien, weirdly enough, even though his name is never said. Yeah, Jay is kind of like a very warped version of Joshua O'Brien. Yeah, hard mode in the older games, man. Good times. Man, I should have Georged in Pete. He would have lived. The extra defense up would have done it. Yeah, oh my god, hard mode destruction ending. Most people have never beat that. It's so fucking hard, dude. And of the people that beat it, most of them cheese it. Because it is just so difficult. Time for Big Buster. That's one of the hardest things I've ever done in a video game. That shit is nonsense. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to cheese that level. It's still hard though. I don't think there is a version of that level that's easy. Because even the cheese takes some skill and effort. I'll never forget the first time I beat the destruction ending, Old King lived, which, you know, nothing in the ending contradicts that. It's not like it's a problem that he lives, but there's no world where they thought he would. Like, there's absolutely no shot they intended that to happen. I mean, he does last a minute, but like, I mean, that level is so ridiculous that yeah, generally he gets smoked. I'm pretty confident lore-wise, though, they intend him to be able to keep up with the best of them. Like, he's kind of this, you know, easily forgotten about side character for a long time, but yeah, I do think he's actually pretty, There's a theory that he is, like, friends with, Sad Anna from the first game. There's not a lot of evidence for it, but there's, you know, that's how those games are. A lot of it's, you know, vague and stuff. But there's a little bit of evidence to support that. And that's like, kind of why he's trying to kill everybody. I would love to stream Armored Core 4, but I don't want to buy an Xbox 360 controller because they cost like $200 and mine's broke, and then I don't trust the third-party ones. If someone like knows a third-party one that will work on an actual Xbox 360, then I mean, I'll do it. I would love to play Armored Core 4 and 4 Answer. I haven't played them in forever and I love them, and I haven't played them since Armored Core 6, so I want to play it to like compare and, you know, show off the differences, and I, you know, and I know the game so well I can kind of explain some of the more new hidden lore and stuff as we go, so I think it could be pretty enjoyable. But yeah, I don't want to spend $200 on a fucking controller, and yeah, I just don't trust the third-party ones. And then on emulator, it just doesn't work very well right now. I'll poke around and see, but 8-bit do controllers have. I mean, have you tried one on 360? Because that's what, you know, that's what's important. Because if it doesn't work, then, you know, it's no good. Yeah, it sucks. My 360, like 360 Elite works fine, and it's pretty easy to clean the vents and stuff too. You get the dust out of it. All that stuff's pretty easy. But yeah, the controller don't work. Some of the emulators are fine. They're not for Armored Core. Like, just ask Beastly. Like, they're like the PS3 and 360 emulators are like decent now. They're definitely not as good as like Dolphin, but like they're solid. But Armored Core just doesn't emulate well, like at all. It gets super fucked up. Yeah, I'll look into that. I'll try to remember. Someone could send me like a DM on Discord right now so I don't forget the name. I'd appreciate it. Being old and senile. I know, could they just port this shit? Yeah, if I can find a way to emulate it and it won't be messed up, then I'd do that. It's like that's fine. But like I don't want to stream it suboptimally. I don't want it to be fucked up. I do wish devs would care more about preserving their art. I'm actually really confused by it. Like, I'm really confused by it. I understand that, like, FromSoft wants to make new art instead of, like, always going back to old art. Like, that's normal. But if you make something you're proud of, you should want it to last. It's like if you make a painting and then, you know, you don't put it in a room and within protection and stuff to maintain the painting, right? That's stupid. I'm tired of all these amazing games getting made and then they're just fucked. Because even, like, Halo 1 is fucked. All the, like, remakes of Halo 1 mess up the graphics really bad and the lighting really bad. There's videos on YouTube, like, showing this. Like, a lot of people kind of, like, they think they remember what Halo 1 looks like, but, like, they're actually, most people remember it wrong, and, like, all the, like, remasters and remakes and, like, different versions of Halo 1 are actually messing up the graphics, like, big time. And it just sucks. There's so much stuff like that, where the games are just not being preserved well. And they are art, right? Video games absolutely are art. At least we have, you know, videos that helps, but still. Yeah, if you look up, there's a lot of, like, videos about Halo 1 you can find talking about that issue, and yeah, it's pretty sad. It's definitely where Armored Core is heading at this rate. It's just so messed up because it's my favorite IP. Oh my god, when they make you play a single player game on the internet and then it's not preserved, that is so obnoxious. Yeah, so this is a controversial thing to say, but so, you know, there's that whole, you know, save games initiative, and then there was, like, the Pirate Software backlash, but I'm just gonna say it, they're kind of both wrong. Like, a lot of what Pirate Software did and how he, like, handled all that was bad, like, really bad, but a lot of his points are actually correct. Like, that saving games initiative is garbage. It's so garbage. And people are just emotional, and this is the problem with, like, humans. They put, like, their emotions before logic. Life and Ash, by the way. But, like, a lot of the terminology in that, like, initiative could be misused so hard and is not going to, like, result in what they want. And, like, if you try to implement what they're trying to implement, you're just going to, like, destroy creativity. And again, I don't really like Pirate Software, but, like, unironically, that initiative is really bad. Even though the emotion behind it, I think, is good, but you have to have a brain. That's the thing. Like, you can't just feel something and think it's going to work out. You know, if you want to, you know, help preserve games, that's great, but you need to sit down and, you know, actually think about it. If you're not going to be technical, you're not actually being useful. Yeah, a lot of remix turn things into shit, absolutely. Yeah, all that, like, money and raising awareness and stuff, and they couldn't sit down to get a fucking lawyer. I'm like, what are you doing? And then they get all offended by, like, Pirate Software. And again, I don't really like Pirate Software, and I think he handled all that really badly. But a lot of his points were correct. That, like, their language was crap. The way this could be, you know, implemented is crap, right? The way you're even... And you could just see it, because all the people on board with it couldn't, like, articulate what it even was. And again, everyone hates Pirate Software, but I watched, like, videos of people shitting on them, and it was weird because every single time they would shit on them, they wouldn't actually make a point. This is kind of what tipped me off to it, and then when I read it myself, I was like, yeah, this is garbage. Because everybody throwing Pirate Software under the bus was just, like, insulting him and saying how dumb he is and blah, 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 and how great the initiative is. And I'm like, well, at no point are you actually articulating a point. And none of them could even say, like, what the initiative even was. Ever, right? And I'm like, do you not see the problem here? And it's just too much, like, emotion. And it's like, don't shoot the messenger, right? Because I don't like Pirate Software. I can see why people don't like him, but that doesn't change the fact that he coincidentally, in some areas, he's correct. People are just bad about that, right? Because, like, you could hate my guts, but I might happen to be right about something, right? So let's say you think I'm wrong about 90% of things, but then you let your emotions get in the way of the 10% of the time that you should actually agree with me. That's not good. You don't want to be that guy, right? And other way around, right? Let's say you agree with 90% of what I say, right? And then you kind of, like, gloss over the 10% you don't, and you try to, like, justify it. You don't do that. But humans are exceptionally bad about this kind of stuff. And people are very all or nothing. because I've heard Pirate Software make good points, and I've heard him make bad points, right? And I get why people don't like his attitude, but you lose credibility and integrity when you're trying to like discredit everything he's ever said, right? Or give credit to everything he's ever said, right? And without articulating anything, right? Too much bandwagoning. Really is tempting to just go turn 1. He stole my lunch money. This really is one of the best songs, by the way. And they never used it in a game. I would actually love if they took all the music they made for Armored Core, but they didn't use, and used a lot of it in a new game. And like, if it doesn't, don't shoehorn it in there. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. But that would be really nice. I think that'd be really cool for them to do. Okay, damn it, I guess I have to wait a turn. I kind of just messed that up. Well, fuck it, I want George to have the defense up just cause. Hey, look, it's my other favorite song. This is probably the most unknown one that I like. Because this is from Armored Core 4, not 4 Answer, and 4 Answer is more popular. And this song only plays in pretty random parts of the game. But yeah, it's one of my absolute favorites. Actually, funny story. When I was young, in the environment I grew up in and stuff, I really only heard like pop music and stuff, and I didn't like it. It's like it's boring, it's repetitive, it's not mentally engaging me, right? So I'm young, so I'm stupid. I just kind of just didn't like music. I was like, oh, that's what music is, right? And like all my family would just like listen to all this like crappy, repetitive music. So I was like, man, I don't care about music, and I just kind of ignored music for a long time. And there was a few exceptions I'd hear every once in a while, like, oh, it's all right. I just didn't even think about it much, and I just kind of got used to the fact that I don't seem to really like music. And then, Armored Core is actually what snapped me out of it, and I remember this song in particular, playing Armored Core 4 for the first time, going down this, like, elevator shaft, and this song started playing, and I was like, and there was, like, not a lot of noise, so I could really, like, hear the music. I'm like, wow, this is really good. I'm like, that's odd, because I normally don't like music. And then this song got me to then pay attention to the rest of the soundtrack, and I'm like, wow, this soundtrack's amazing. Like, oh, okay, all that other music's shit, but I like this, so like there is good music. And then that got me to pay attention to music more in general for like the rest of my life. But yeah, I very much remember that, playing the stage that this song plays in, and being like, oh fuck, this is actually good. Yo boy, I don't like country music. I don't like that at all. More power to you if you do like it, but definitely not my cup of tea there. Alright, let's see what Ozzy can do. Only gets the 180% crit though, that kind of sucks. Yeah, when I was young, I was exposed to like pop music and then classical music, and I really stand by this. You should not expose kids to classical music, because they're either just gonna like it because you like it and they're trying to emulate you, or they're not gonna understand it, and then you know they're not gonna like it. It's not kid music, and it'll like I think turn them away from it. Because when I was young, I didn't like it at all. Because I didn't get it, and of course I didn't. I'm a kid. I think classical music is way better visited when you're older, and you've already got like an appreciation for music, and you know a developed brain. You know, it depends. There's no rule that's gonna apply to everybody, but yeah, I bounced off classical music hard, but now I like it. I'll say this: if you are gonna expose kids to classical music, honestly, like Mozart and stuff like that's great, because Mozart intentionally has a lot of more light music, right? That's gonna be a lot more enjoyable by a kid, right? And you really have to give Mozart credit for that, honestly, that he could make both kinds of music. Because like a kid can like understand and enjoy, Twinkle Little Star, right? But like, Bach's organ music, probably not. Yeah, I'm a very big fan of classical music now that I'm older. And there's like some oldie music that I like, Queen and stuff like that. There is some classical music though I don't like at all, but I mean that's true for anything. Like not everything's a hit. Like not every song by Queen I think is amazing, right? And babies is different than kids. That's a whole other thing. Man, they really could do some damage. Jesus. Probably should have done Boudica's NP just for the defense up. Boudica's kind of killing me out here. Not given her command code. I don't think the glowing animals are too garish. I think it fits. Generally, angelic things tied to more like, Christianity or Middle Eastern religions and stuff. It's pretty normal that, they're gold. And obviously they're the animals from the Ark, but like, they're coming back, the spirits and whatnot. It's all that shit. So I think it's fine. Like, I wouldn't have minded either way, right? If they'd been more normal, that'd have been fine too. Oh yeah, Spirit of Motherwell. Yep, very good. Big fan. Why are there 3 snakes if they're from the Ark? That's a really good point. But that is what they are, so they just messed up. But no, you were correct. It's supposed to be 2 of each, which also, by the way, shows the Bronze Age thinking. Because if you have 2 of every animal, you couldn't continue any of the species, and they would all go extinct, so good job. I don't have any dropped frames. I have 0.0 dropped frames, so if it's lagging, it's either your end or Twitch's end or something. Not that there's a lot to watch right now, because we're farming. Oh, how interesting. Chat, why do more people watch me do this than, like, play, whatever video game? I don't get it. I mean, to each their own, you can do whatever you want. I just find it odd that, like, This is the thing. On PC. I was thinking about this. If Ace really wanted to insult me, he was always calling me like lesser ninja or lesser fencer, you know, lesser ranger, you know, whatever it is. But if he really wanted to insult me, you don't say that about FGO. You like, that's the time you like, it's more insulting to be like, yeah, that's the thing you're actually a master of, is FGO. That's actually way more insulting. Yeah, obviously people listen to me in the background, I get that. I just feel like FGO is such a bad springboard for conversation, right? And today we're farming again. Oh, he didn't return. Like, there's man, I guess sometimes when new story comes out, sure, that I get. That I totally get. Like, I'll watch FGO when new stuff comes out, but all the generic crap. Yeah, master. Oh, yeah, yippee, farming. I think some people watch because they don't want to play FGO, and they use me to keep tabs on it. I think that's the thing. Because they're the people that are like me that think the game's dumb for the most part, but there's like certain aspects of it they like. God. So tomorrow, the like Ascension difficulty comes to Night Rain, where you can like keep escalating the difficulty up and up and up. I'm really pissed about this though, because Lost said that your like rating is tied to your account and not your character. And that's stupid, because anytime I play Duchess, I'm going to lower my rating. Right? Relative to what it could be if I was playing Wilder. I think this is a huge fucking mistake, and it's gonna make everyone play that way. No one's gonna play off meta now, because they're like, well, if I increase my odds of losing, it's gonna lower my rating. And the thing is, it's gonna be a lot harder. This hard mode is gonna be a lot fucking harder, because like, yeah, +1 difficulty, maybe not that bad. +2 difficulty, maybe not that bad, but it's gonna be 3, 4, 5, right? Like, it's gonna get hard as fuck. Permanent account damage, indeed. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to be a Wilder main. I don't know, we'll see. I'll kind of feel it out. Hopefully they'll get some complaints and they'll make character-specific rating, because I think that's just completely necessary. I think it's a just massive mistake not doing it that way. Because then you play Duchess when you're fucking around and you don't really care, and you get where you get, and then Wilder when you're tryharding. Or, you know, whatever character you want to play that way on. I don't know if George is even worth NPing on. I need to upgrade his skill tree more. Out of my Night Rain gamers here, what are you guys gonna play if you're playing the difficulty Ascension stuff? I don't know who that is, Stormix. Oh, is that Protoku's master? I always forget her name, but that's kind of what that looks like. That would just out you as a bad judge. Nobody's that bad. I'm gonna take away my servant's main combat ability and weapon, and then order him to actively fight every single servant. What could go wrong? Also, not be in this vicinity to give any kind of support. Can you guys believe that she dies like an idiot? And then the main character becomes the master of Protoku? Can you believe that happens? Whoever would believe that? Yeah, from what they've said, you know, Puroku's master dies like an idiot. Big surprise. And then Protoku becomes the servant of the main character who lost Arthur, and now it's Arthur Alter. But unlike the regular franchise, you can unalter somebody, which I'm pretty sure that happens. But Protoku has to fight Arthur and Hercules at the same time. And they don't really say what happens, but most people speculate, and I agree with this, is Protoku accomplishes what he needs to save Arthur, and he becomes unaltered, but Protoku probably dies. That's definitely what it seems like is going to happen. Just wash the mud off and that'll fix them. Yeah, I don't think they're altered in the same way. Like, it doesn't come about because Angra is not a thing, right? So it doesn't come about in the same way. I think Proto-Gil is in a different part of the story. I think Proto-Gil fights Herc at a completely different time. I don't think that's related. It's hard to say because the information, you know, is not as clear. Oh, I think Proto-Ku actually does live because I think they said somewhere else later that at the end, the big fight at the end is actually Arthur, Gilgamesh, and Ku versus like the Shadow Servants or whatever you want to call them of the previous Grail War. And like Proto-Ku fights Hohenheim, and I think Gil fights Ozzy and stuff like that. It's a lot harder to find information on that, but I'm pretty sure that is actually a thing. So that would imply that Ku lives. But if they ever revisit this story, they're going to change stuff, obviously. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, none of that stuff was talked about in any detail, like at all. Right? Very little detail about it. Hopefully someday they'll revisit Prototype. I just want them to stick to like the original. And here's, I just don't trust Nasu. I wish I did, but like Nasu really is a hack. I don't trust Nasu to like try to stay in the spirit of the original. It's one thing to change stuff, but like I don't think he'll even stay in the spirit of the original at all. Right? You're gonna have like a fucking VTuber running around and stupid shit. Like they just don't. Other writers will do serious stuff, but Nasu just doesn't. There were, I know what you're talking about, Eli, but there actually was a little bit of other stuff I remember we talked about. But it's been such a long time. Servant verse gonna spawn? Please no. Honestly, the defense buff helps George a lot. Space Ishtar will show up. Yeah, just like that. Chat, Ever Dark Augur versus Ort. Honestly, that's not even it's Ort. Oh my god. There's nothing in Elden Ring that... You could put the entire Elden Ring universe against Ort and it wouldn't work. No shot. And like, Augur looks really impressive. He's like this giant alien. He's huge. Space lasers everywhere and stuff, but it really is... It's kind of nothing. A dude moving around with not superhuman abilities is capable of dodging his lasers and shit. Really not that impressive. Why do this to Augur? Because I hate him. Let's see. Look at all those debuffs. My god. Like, no way to use Ozzy's card to get a rainbow chain. I do love Ort. Like, you have that super duper Excalibur that they put all of their eggs in that basket. Right, and they really build it up like that's gonna do it. And then he just deflects it like it's nothing. Just like, get that out of here. Yep, Grand George. I had this planned for a while. I was very confident this is what I was gonna pick. Man, can we get like a story written by anyone other than Nasu? Unless Nasu wants to get serious for once. Where we get like, yeah, just no. Yeah, I don't even need the rest of the sentence. But anyway, where we can get like, you know, type Jupiter or something. Like he's the coolest one. Unless they fuck him up and then they make him lame, but he's implied to be the coolest one. VTuber Jupiter. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him. Can we summon Ado? I really wish they had done that for Lost Belt 7. We'll see. I think someday they probably will do more with notes, but I think they're not going to do it for a really long time. Also, they cut a lot of Orc from Fate Strange Fake. They do mention him in the anime, but he's mentioned more in the book, so that kind of sucks. First summonable type is a waifu. I mean, you already have 2 pseudo types that are waifus. But they're more like, you know, you have archetype and then like a type of a type. Because that's a thing somehow. Oh, we don't know. No actual type is playable though. Like this, you know, archetype and whatnot. That'll probably happen someday. Type Ort. I mean, she would technically just be type. Well, no, I guess she's archetype Ort, is what she is. Ort Junior, really. I find all of the writers of Fate are inconsistent. Like, Sakura does the worst, and then some actually pretty solid stuff. But like, cause they did Septum. They did London. Those are horrible. But like, Fate Lost is pretty good from what I've heard, although I haven't read it. I think they did Fate Labyrinth, which is acceptable. They did Blue Fragments, which is pretty good. Right? And it's just one of those things, you know, no one's perfect, right? At least not for your own subjective taste. Because one thing they do a good job with universally is Sakura seems to really like what I like in designs. They like, it's pretty grounded, it's kind of what you would expect out of an anime, you know, historical figure. That's what they go with, right? It's like little, you know, it's anime, it's definitely anime, but it's grounded, it's what you, like, yeah, that's an anime X or anime Y, it's what you would think of. Right, it's more classical. They pretty consistently do that for like all of their stuff, and I appreciate that a lot. But oh my god, some of their writing is a mess. I don't see why they'd have an issue with adding other characters from notes, and I wouldn't do it right now randomly. You do it when you have a singularity set in that world or something like that. But you've got, you know, Gun God, obviously. You've got the Nameless Angel, which is not VV. Everyone thinks that because no one actually read notes. Yeah, the Nameless Angel is more like a Diablo Angel, so it's like, it's one of those things. Which, that sounds cool. But you've got, obviously, VV, which, you know, whatever. But, you know, that's 3 characters right there, and that's all you really need for an event. And then you make it a new character we've never heard of, because, of course, they're going to do that. Some other person, you know, from the notes world that we hadn't heard of. That's obviously going to happen. That'd be awesome to have a story set in that timeline. Oh, then, oh, excuse me, and then Ado. I don't know how I just remembered VV, but I didn't remember Ado. What the fuck is wrong with me? Holy hell. Yeah, some other person you've never heard of, but that was totally super important the whole time. Yeah, that's very Fate right there. I don't know what they'll do with Venus. I don't think they would combine the Nameless Angel with Venus, because that's almost like a coincidence. Like that's like a player-based thing that connects them. They're not really connected at all. Actually, I'd say they're kind of portrayed as you know, very much on opposite ends of like what's going on there. But yeah, Vivi is like the only hey, here's the thing. The only reason Vivi is like the face of Notes is because she's one of the only things that got a fucking design. Like, I'm telling you, if Notes as it was flushed out into a full story and was an anime, I don't think anyone would have cared that much about Vivi. I don't think she'd be like disliked or anything, but I think compared to like the other like heroines of the series, like Saber and Arkaway and stuff, I don't think she'd be nearly as popular. And I think Ado would be way more popular. Gun God would be more popular. I think the Nameless Angel would be more popular. All the types would be more popular. Like, she's just not that interesting of a character. But, you know, if they do it now, they'll probably change stuff around, so. Who the fuck knows? Also, these hands are not it. Do we have Type Pluto, though? I'm just saying, like, wouldn't that be funny? Like, everyone wants to, well, not everyone, but the people that do want Note stuff are talking about this, that, and the other. You know, Ado, Edom, and all that. No one talks about Pluto. Like, Pluto gets brought up because it's like Raditz, right? So then imagine they're like, okay, we're going to finally do something with Notes. And it's Type Pluto. Funnily enough, it would actually be kind of cool, though, because even though Type Pluto was definitely the Raditz of that story, Type Pluto would still probably body like 95%, if not more, of the cast out there, so. The vengeance would be nice. Oh yeah, I would like to see the Six Sisters. They have a description, and they look like very typical, you know, like fantasy witches is what they say. Now, I get the feeling they're gonna give them big boobs and all that because, you know, it's Fate. But, you know, I think they'll get the hat and all that, so good enough. And I'm not like hating on characters that have big boobs. I'm just saying, you know, they're all, I would imagine they're gonna inject some fan service is what I'm getting at here. I would like to remind everyone that the Six Sisters are described as just being unbelievably powerful, right? By like the standards of Fate, right? They are just so strong by the standards of Fate. But they all have to die to double down with Pluto. Oh, does one of them live? I forget. One of them might live. I don't fucking remember. But they get wrecked. They like, you know, kill trade. Yeah, they're like the champions of that faction, whatever you call them. Cause you got like the two factions fighting each other, and they're like the peak of theirs. They were win trading report, yeah. I wonder what Pluto does. I don't think they gave a description of Pluto really at all. More like just his blood. Isn't that weird that we make fun of Pluto around these parts, but we don't make fun of the Six Sisters? When, if you think about it, he's the badass here. It's 6v1, and he kills all of them. Like, that's actually Chad behavior. So, like, it is weird that we give him shit, when really we should be giving the Six Sisters shit. You can't make fun of women? Oh, yes, I can. Do it every day. And then I think Mars isn't even in it. I think they're all mentioned, but I don't think Mars is described in any capacity. Well, you can see my Grand Rider right there. Right, how far along are we here? You normally need to do like 35 runs or something like. Oh god, I've only done 12. Oh jeez. Help. No idea what this does. Hopefully it helps. Jupiter actually has like the most other than Ort, Jupiter has the most known about him. Like by quite a lot actually. Something that's cool about the types though is they're not just alien to Earth, they're alien to each other. Right, just like a human is like, you know, like Archewade or whatever is very different than Ort. Ort is like conceptually and like the way they act and everything is extremely different from Jupiter. And Saturn tries to keep them all together. Like Saturn is like the satellite dish that communicates between all of them. So I hope they kind of think about that, because that must mean like there must be something really special about Saturn if it can like bridge the gap between all of them when they're all so fucking different. I hope they kind of do something with that. I mean, Ort is like pretender type Mercury. Oh good, we got this right off the rip. That's nice. Saturn is just really smart. Glorp. Man, I hope Fate Strange Fate can stick the landing. It's like, the first half of it's so good, but the second half of it's been pretty weak. And if they can at least make a good ending, then, you know, acceptable. But I'm worried they're gonna, like, really fuck up the ending. Yeah, I know, I don't like Noah's design either, but what are you gonna do? If I put more effort into my team, I could probably clear a lot faster. But whatever. And obviously George is not a particularly good pick here. I don't think I need to even use George's NP actually. I do feel like the male characters have been becoming significantly less diverse. I see this in all of these kind of games. Like all pretty boys now. And like, you know, I don't really like pretty boys, but, you know, if other people do, that's fine. So I'm not saying you can't have them. But I feel like ever since Genshin, male character designs have just been getting a lot more like formulaic. I like the just, you know, like robots and monsters and shit like that. I blame Astolfo. I don't think that's it at all, actually. Like, Astolfo's like the icon people prop up, but if you actually look at the sales and all that, Astolfo didn't do anything. Like, Astolfo actually isn't that popular. Again, they're more like a mascot that kind of just caught on in the zeitgeist, if you will. I tell you what really did it in Fate is Oberyn. Like that infinitely more impactful. It's also just like it goes for female characters too, right? It's like easier. Like a big part of why Genshin is so samey is because they don't want to make other character models, right? They don't want to make a big guy with muscles and, you know, they don't want to have a cool like sage guy with a beard, and, you know, they don't want to do that stuff, right? That requires effort. You know, they have to rig new models and shit like that, and they don't want to do that. Gundam Unicorn has such nice fights. Oh my god. Yep. It's got like the best fights ever. There's some detail. I won't say anything about them until you get farther. But there's just tiny details in some of those fight scenes that are so cool. Like none of the grunts feel like clone robots that are just disposable. Like they all have like varying skill levels. You can see clearly in different fighting styles, and they're actually trying to live, for God's sakes. And it's just cool. You kind of tell when they were doing these fight scenes. The writer was thinking about, you know, this pilot, this random grunt you're never going to see, he has a competency of like, you know, 8 out of 10, and this one's 6 out of 10, and this one's, you know, 7 out of 10. You can clearly see that in all the fight scenes, and it's so nice. You don't have to watch 00. If you want to watch Unicorn, a good poise here, he can give his input. So I'm going to give 2 versions. If you want to watch Gundam Unicorn, I'm going to give you the bare bones, like, speed run to Unicorn, and then I'm gonna give the one that's probably gonna do a lot better of like fleshing it out and being minimum on the pain. Both of these lists are designed to be minimal on pain, right? Like not watching the worst Gundams out there. So if I was gonna speed run it, you watch 8th MS Team first, Gundam 8th MS Team. You watch that first. Then you watch Gundam 0080. Then you watch Gundam 83. Then you read a summary of actually no, watch the Zeta movies. After 0080, watch the Gundam Zeta movies, not the show. Fuck the show, it's way too long. Fuck that. So watch the movies for Zeta Gundam. Then read a summary of Double Zeta. Do not watch it, but it unfortunately lots of Double Zeta stuff is like very important in Unicorn. So just read a summary or read the wiki pages of the characters from Double Zeta, whatever, right? But don't watch it. And then maybe watch Char's Counterattack. And then you can, well, I'd say you could watch Unicorn and understand it pretty fully. Right? I think that covers most of the bases. You know, it's not too much stuff. And that's kind of the bigger list, actually. I'd say the more speed run list, because I kind of did that backwards. The speed run list would be 8th MS Team, 0080, and then maybe 0083, and then I guess read summaries of Double Zeta again, and then go straight to the Unicorn. But yeah, the thing about Unicorn is it is so based on, it's just not made to be watched on its own. It's like the cap bonus story after all the original UC stuff, right? Like capping it off, right? It references everything. Like, I really mean this. It's a much worse experience if you watch it on its own, because it's not just, fuck the story. It's just like, although the story is based on a lot of the other stuff, but like, it's kind of like set in a, like you have Russia over there in the war in Ukraine, right? And they're using all this like old as fuck technology and stuff. And it's kind of set in a universe where a lot of that's going on, where you have like a faction that's kind of past its glory days and using stuff from like World War II. You have the ruling faction that's kind of become decadent. You know, it's kind of like America using F-16s. But then there is some new stuff. You know, there is your, you know, F-22 Raptors out there and that kind of thing. And just knowing what the hell any of these suits are, and so you have all these like awesome fight scenes between grunts, and knowing, okay, that's from this era, that's from this era, so you know, like, you know, who's punching up and who's punching down and everything. It makes so much more sense, right? The fight scenes are just way more enjoyable with that context. And then also the story makes a lot more sense too, even though the story is kind of whatever in Unicorn, but Gundam Wing drove me to insanity. I will give Gundam Wing this. The second half of it is a lot better than the first half of it. Like, just so much better. Like, you can even start watching it in the middle and it'd be fine. And Gundam Wing has good music and that kind of stuff, but the dialogue is just atrocious in Gundam Wing. And the pacing is atrocious. Yeah, the pacing is atrocious. The writing, I would say, the story's not necessarily bad, but the dialogue is bad. And some of the things that just happen don't make any sense. It's got the worst plot armor I've ever seen. Like, holy fuck. And it's got reverse plot armor. Things get weaker because the plot needs them to get weaker. It's dumb. It's so, like, inconsistent. There are things to enjoy in Gundam Wing, though. Like, the soundtrack, especially in the second half, is very, very good. It's got certain moments that are really awesome. It's got great mech designs too, I'll say, but yeah, I would never recommend Gundam Wing as a starting one. And sadly, even though Unicorn is super enjoyable and it's got like these great fight scenes, it's so difficult to like be able to get to Unicorn and enjoy it. I don't really recommend that either. I normally say, like, you know, start with, depending on the person, either IBO, Iron Blooded Orphans, or 00. Those are the two I end up recommending the most, depending on the person. Or 0080, again, depending on the person. Or 8th MS Team. Like, those four are definitely the ones. It's always one of those four that I recommend, depending on the person. You don't. There's people here that don't say that, Stark. Like, there's people here that. I would delete that. Like, it took me forever to find the delete message. Like, there's so many, like, literally people here are watching it right now. I started with Wing and I turned out fine. I was 3 though. Yeah, a little different. Yeah, I technically started with Wing too, but I would recommend G Gundam if I knew the person was really into super robot stuff, which is a pretty niche genre, but. But no, G Gundam is not a good starting pick. And everyone that says it is doesn't even mean it. They're just memeing, and they're memeing by saying that they do mean it. I'm gonna get water. I'll be right back. See, Lost is just memeing. It really is like starting with Dark Souls 2. So, I had a friend over, I don't want to say had, he didn't die. I have a friend in real life. I have no idea why I worded it that way. Anyway, and this friend has always been in the camp of Dark Souls 2 is good, and even when I make, you know, all these points about why it's bad, he'll just, like, defend with, well, it's bad for a Souls game, like, compared to Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring and all that, but it's a good game in a vacuum if it just wasn't named Dark Souls. Now, this guy hasn't played Dark Souls 2 since it came out, and very recently, he finally played it again. And he quit before he finished, like, the first area. And then he finally was like, okay, no, this game's a piece of shit. Is this Cairo? No. Cairo is in the same boat for the most part, too. Although Cairo is half memeing and half serious. But Cairo also hasn't literally played it since it first came out. So I think he's definitely getting blasted by... Make him stream that shit. Make him stream that whole fucking thing. He'll probably just use an OP as fuck build to just cheese the whole game and not have to deal with how dumb it is in a lot of areas. I suspect that's what he's gonna do. We'll see though. Anyway, but that friend was like, okay, no, this game sucks. As soon as he like saw the movement again and everything, he was like, okay, never mind, this game's bad. Iframes. I love that emote, dude. So I have to wonder, is that a raccoon that's just trying to evade the human, or is it a raccoon that grew up with the humans and it's goofing off? Because I know raccoons can actually get along with humans very well if they like grow up around them and all that. Oh my god, you're watching that emote. It really is how you fight a boss in these games. +1 apple, let's go. I know, it really is kind of silly. Oh, good. Those are rare as hell. Those are like the limiting factor of skill trees. It definitely looks like the raccoon is playing around, so he probably knows the humans in the vicinity. We're slowly getting somewhere. We got electronics lore. What is going on? There's so many things, like, I get linked some bullshit. He's just goofing around. Yeah, that's kind of nice to know. I remember when you recommended to watch 08, MS, Team After, IBO. I think that was the only character that I actually enjoyed. The Xeon veteran that had... oh, yeah, everyone feels that way. Yeah, Norris is the best. Yeah, I don't really like the main character either. You have to remember, I don't like main characters really ever. Because what you're saying makes total sense, but I don't remember it very often because I'm used to always ignoring the main character and enjoying literally everything but them anyway. So like what you had to do with 8th MS Team, that's what I have to do with everything I've ever watched in my entire life. So I rarely factor that in. But yeah, the main character is kind of annoying. Graham is the best. Graham is so great. Graham is just, like, what a great character. I just love, like, how... What I really like about 00 Season 1 is that they definitely wrote it knowing that a lot of people were not going to like the Gundams. It's all over that show. And that they give you a lot of outlets to enjoy it with characters like Graham. And don't even start, C9. But, they give you a lot of outlets, like with the engineers and everything, like, you know, doing their best and all that. It's nice. I really like 00 for that. And then the second season is dumb as shit because it gets rid of literally everything that made the first season good. And then the movie tries to undo a lot of the stupid shit they did in the second season, but then also aliens. So, yeah, 00 went from one of the best to one of the worst, which, you know, what are you gonna do? Oh, new Aya stuff. I never trust Lost when he says anything. That doesn't tell us a lot. That really doesn't tell us a lot. Wait, did I call your link bullshit? I was more saying like bullshit as in there's just a lot of stuff in chat, like things are happening, right? Like someone linked me something, Gundam stuff, and then someone saying Electronic Arts, right? It's like, what the fuck? I mean, it just sounds like it's something derivative. They're being so vague there, that doesn't really mean anything. Like, I don't think anyone's gonna read that and be like, yep, well, that made sense. Oh my god. Last time I got this done in 3 hours. I'm definitely going slower this time. Actually, I think it was more like 3.5 hours or 4 hours or something. Why do we have to farm this much? And then like if you're coming late and you can only do 3 a day, it's just what the fuck? People long for the mines. God, no. I long for fun things to do. Farming sucks. And now, I'll give it to some games, and FGO is not one of these games, but some games find a way to make farming fun, like Monster Hunter, and it's because the gameplay is fun. It's fun to play your character. And if you think about it, roguelikes are basically farming. It's just the games are so fun that that's fine. And they're designed to be fun in replay value. This is not any of that. Yeah, being a gacha game doesn't mean anything, right? That is no defense or attack. Nothing stopping you from making the game fun. It's crazy how much I've seen this over the year. I'm actually like exhausted with this, man. I've just seen it so much. This is called getting jaded. But it's like I've seen so much copium emotional defense of these games, right? When the devs are clearly putting in bare minimum like money and hiring and effort into the game, and just like the devs are being like manipulative and being very lazy and finding ways to like justify it that the player base is like eager to lap up because they want a reason to defend the game, right? I'm so sick of that, and it's all everywhere all the time. Like, especially with it happens with all games. It's not unique to gacha games, but gacha games are so bad about it. Like I always say, I don't like gacha games. I really don't. There's just some that happen to be the exception, like Arknights that have good gameplay and stuff. And I do like games that have character variety, right? Because someone like myself that doesn't generally like main characters, you know, at least in games like League of Legends, which isn't a gacha game but has a lot of characters, or a fighting game, or a gacha game, you have large casts, and so you potentially have cool characters that, you know, wouldn't typically be playable. And so that aspect of them I do like. But I don't know if that shit's worth it. I mean, normally it's not. That's why I don't actually play very many gacha games. And I mostly play them for chat. But it's kind of dumb because there's nothing about the formula that should actually demand such laziness. It's not like you can't hire a big dev team and have good combat and gameplay systems and add content. And because they make so much money, actually, they have a better shot of doing that. It's more that they can get away with it. Like, oh, we can hire a skeleton crew and just be super lazy and get a bunch of money. I do think, though, if a game, because the sad truth is humans are really susceptible to like gambling and things similar to gambling, and not even just gambling, even just unlocking things and like all these like long-term investment things. Humans get really suckered in by that stuff. So if a game ever does do it right, and I mean really right, and they look at like what was good about old school MMOs and the good aspects of gacha games and the business model that they can get out of it to make a lot of money, and then they put a lot of that into the game and just make it like, it'll be so popular, it'll make so much money, especially if they can make merchandise for it as well. But I think honestly quality does win in the end. It's just low quality can like win well enough. Never forget that this is Belateus' theme. Well, I almost have 900 million QP. These games make loads of money, but I think they could make more, honestly. If you actually did put in the effort, I think it'd be worth it. You think there's risk of failure. You put in the effort and you don't make good decisions. That's the thing. You don't make good gameplay. You don't make good boss battles. You don't make the right calls on what game modes to add. Right, it's riskier. You have to be good. You have to have like talent, where you can do the tried and true lazy copy paste, and it'll be good enough. No risk. Yeah, Arknights has been pretty dead for me. I'll poke in every once in a while, but it's just the power creep is too much. That's the whole problem. The power creep has messed that game up. Okay, so the original Lords of the Fallen is bleh. It just controls like ass. A cool aesthetic, but no character customization, right? So I'm just not a fan at all. The second game was optimized like garbage. It was super floaty. It had character customization, but like just so many problems. And then 2.0 and you know, whatever updates they did before that, which I don't know which one is which, but as of 2.0, it's good. It plays a lot better. It's kind of a fun hack and slash. It's kind of like Diablo meets Souls-like. I actually kind of enjoy that, to be honest. The main issue, I would say, is the animations are still a little sloppy. They're not horrible, but they're not like amazing. The combat's not as fleshed out as like Elden Ring, definitely not. And there's just not, there's an okay amount of enemy variety, but not, it needs a bit more, right? The game feels just a little undercooked. But great aesthetic. I love a lot of the armor sets. I love how you can customize the colors, and I like how you unlock different color palettes through doing things. That's very cool, and there's a lot of color palettes. That's all great. Like, I like it. I like the universe. I actually think the story is pretty interesting. But yeah, it's basically, it's good. Definitely room for improvement, though. It's one of the better Souls-likes, though. I think Souls-likes that aren't made by FromSoft are generally terrible. Like really terrible. But, you know, as of 2.0, I think Lords of the Fallen is pretty enjoyable. There's definitely things you can enjoy about it that you're not going to get out of Elden Ring and stuff. But there's some annoyances. I do think the lantern is just a gimmick. It doesn't really add anything. It's like, okay, and now I beat the game. I beat the fucking game. I get to say this now. My prediction of what that game was going to be like was accurate. It's like, okay, you need to go across that bridge, but the bridge isn't there. You have to hold up the lantern, and now you can go across the bridge. That's a mirage. That's nothing. That's not innovative. That's not interesting. It's not engaging, right? That's busy work to waste your time. Now, there are a couple of puzzles in the game, or interactions in the game with the lantern that are neat, but it's not worth it. Most of them are filler, obnoxious, tedious, and then like you can miss something easily. You have to backtrack with your dumb lantern up. Like, you just look like such an idiot. You're like walking around, like just looking at every nook and cranny with your stupid lantern out, trying to figure out if you missed something. Like, it's just garbage. Also, when you go into like the lantern mode, you know, the whole game looks the same now. Great, everything's purple and like decaying. Oh wow, this isn't going to get old. Yeah, the lantern sucks. It really does suck. It makes the game look so samey. You have like a zone that has a unique look, and it's awesome. And then you have to go into lantern mode for like 90% of it, and then it just looks like every other zone in the game. Like, it just, are you kidding me right now? Like, so bad. But yeah, I mean, it's still good. I still enjoyed my time with it. You know, I beat it. I liked it. But if I was gonna like replay it as much as I can replay like Dark Souls 3 or whatever, it would need a lot of changes. And oh god, like the exploration is horrible. Oh my god. It's okay the very first time you play it. I never want to play any level in that game ever again. Like, oh my god. Because like there's that one town that's on like fire. It's like a huge zone, multi-layered, you know, interlocking on itself. Everything looks exactly the same. You'll unlock routes that just lead back to like another area for no reason, versus you could go the other way and you actually progress, but you can't tell because when you're progressing, it just looks like any other part of the level. You can't tell, am I progressing towards nothing or am I progressing towards the actual progression on the stage? There's so much of that in Lords of the Fallen. And it just gets so annoying. I have no interest in running around a maze doing nothing, you know, for like an hour and a half. It's so fucking boring. I'm so sick of that in video games, by the way. It's become very prevalent too, and it is so shit. Yeah, I haven't touched Dark Knights in ages. I mean, it's just the power creep. If anything, their character designs have gotten better. They're slowly learning how to make characters that are manly. Imagine that. And you got like some robots that are playable and stuff like that. You know, they're slowly improving on that aspect. But the gameplay is just so power creepy now that it's just not fun. It's like you either use the OP stuff or you have this. I saw Dr. Silvergun made a video recently that I related to so much because I started feeling this way in FGO and I feel this way in Arknights. It was I didn't play the event, but it was some like super hard event for low stars. And this is a pretty recent video he made. He made it maybe a few weeks ago or something. But he was basically saying like this boss took him all day. Just hours and hours and hours. And it's just tedious trial and error, right? Just total bullshit. Like that's not fun. I've done that kind of shit. It's so not fun. Your intuitive skill just doesn't matter. And he finally does it, and it's like, if you just use like Jalter and shit, you'll beat the stage in like 5 minutes. It's all, and that's how FGO feels a lot of the time when they occasionally put out hard content. I just don't care anymore, dude. It's like, it's not fun to waste hours and hours of my life doing something that, you know, you can just trivially do with Castori and crew, right? It's just not worth it anymore. Like, because it's not even it's not interesting. Every once in a while there's challenging content in FGO that, although is hard with low stars, it's very fun. Because it's like, and you're this is what really gets these games, right? In the early days, gaining actual wisdom of the game is what will let you succeed. And then once you have that, the games start getting power creepy, and then your own like wisdom doesn't matter anymore, and it comes down to just trial and error and luck. Because you already know. I can already identify if a stage is long-term or short-term or any of that kind of stuff, and I know what units are best for that. But like the order of them, or maybe this one side grade to that side grade, or this setup or that setup, or you focus on this NP or that NP and stuff, it just takes fucking forever, right? Like the meat of what really matters in learning to fight, I already know. Like you can tell Dr. Silvergun learned that stage like the second or third time he did it. And then it's just a matter of massive trial and error and getting it right with the low stars. It's not fun. And it happens because of power creep. I've played enough of these games that it's purely because of power creep. Because they're trying to make the game at least somewhat engaging for people using the OP stuff, and then it becomes increasingly unfair for people that aren't. And yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun at all. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like Dr. Silvergun uses every 4-star in the game. Like it doesn't matter. And he has this exact same feeling I do. And like, you know, it's not, I don't think this is an appeal to authority, because the proof's in the pudding. I'm not just saying Dr. Silvergun knows his shit. His videos prove he knows his shit. Right? And look what Kyostin has to do. He has to play the Chinese version of the game in advance so he can grind hours on these stages so he can post them, you know, day one when they come out in an A. Does that sound reasonable to you? Like, do people not understand what's actually going on? Right? It's because people don't do it. That's I really get tired of this, because most of the people that would criticize me and stuff don't do it. Right? Like, plenty of people have criticized me about FGO stuff, and I'll look at their YouTube channel, and all they've ever done is just meta, copy paste what other people did, and just cast story everywhere. Like, wow, yeah, you're really knowledgeable. Like, it's like, you have people in Arknights having to stay up to like 6 a.m. right, to post their content to be relevant in the algorithm, and you know, most of them had to have already recorded the video on the Chinese server in advance. Like, this is insane, right? Like the stuff Kyostin and Dr. Silvergun have to do, right, to keep up with this is unhealthy and unreasonable, right? And FGO's the same way. You know, everyone's staying up to like, you know, 8 in the morning or 7 in the morning and all this shit to try to post animation videos, and just, it's so dumb. The whole thing is so fucking dumb. And like, FGO lately hasn't been as bad as Arknights with like the power creep issue. Like, their power creep's probably worse here, but the enemy design has been better, I would say. So they do have that over Arknights, but like Arknights has been super bad. Yeah, it sucks because Arknights in many ways I think is designed a lot better than FGO, but they're handling power creep so much worse that I think it's kind of screwed. I think it's a lot of the air quotes non-meta stuff people use is still, it was meta at one point, or is still just infinitely stronger than you know, the low stars. Yeah, I know, it's like non-meta, and it's like Dejin Breacher, you know, and it's like, she's so much stronger than like fucking Cutter. And Cutter's one of the best 4-stars, right? It's like she's one of the she punches up better than most. Yeah, and like the roguelikes just started getting so trial and error heavy to like the point of absurdity. And it's like, it gets really oops, that was a mistake. I didn't do my buff success chance. But it gets so obnoxious when like, you understand the roguelike stages well enough. Maybe not perfectly, but you understand the stages quite well. And you know, what's really affecting your ability to get ahead and get more ahead, or get behind and more behind, is just like luck stuff. Like you happen to get this event at a good time, or you happen to get a good unit at a good time. And because you didn't get those things, now you can't do the emergency op, you need to go the other way, and now you're missing out on stuff, and now you're weaker, so now you're less likely to be able to do something hard later, and it just gets worse and worse and worse, right? Also, I fucked up. Not only did I miss one of Ozzy's buffs, but I didn't buff Black Bart with Ozzy's buffs. A lot of missed damage on this one. And the truth of it is, if you want to prevent power creep, you have to have integrity, and none of these games do. Arknights almost has integrity, but like you have to nerf things. You have to you have to like not always push the envelope, right? You need to reset some things every once in a while. You need, you also need to monetize. This is super important. You have got to monetize where you don't always have to add new characters. Sure, over time add new characters, but every update can't hinge on the fact that you add a new character. That's not sustainable. It's not. Like adding, characters here and there, it's fine, but the majority of your monetization really needs to come from like selling skins, selling, subscription, things like that. That kind of stuff needs to make most of your money, because it's in the short term, yeah, you'll make a lot of money by spamming characters, but it catches up with you. It absolutely catches up with you. And then what they always do is, once it starts catching up with them, is they start milking, because what happens is it catches up with them, and the game's integrity, it becomes bad. The game's bad, and new players won't play it anymore, right? Once games, and they don't even realize this, I think, a lot of the time, but basically their design decisions have caught up with them to the point where the game is not actually a good video game anymore, so the new players don't play it anymore, at all. And then so what they start doing is they start milking the players that they have left more, right? Like I heard Genshin did something that's like encouraging you to go past, Max Constellation and stuff like that. How, FGO's got the coins now and all this stupid shit, right? They all do it. That's why you guys see it now, right? Cause like surely Genshin players see what I'm talking about, like how that's comparable to the coin system, right? How annoyed I was when they added the coin system, blatantly trying to get you to go to like NP7, NP8, NP9. Right now Genshin's doing it. It's like, imagine that principle and like that repetitive shit where you've seen it before. It's so many other things, right? Like I just have seen so many things in video games. Like I know this song. I know managed declines. I know manipulative HR bullshit, right? Or PR bullshit, right? I know this stuff. And it's been like this for years for me, right? Like when FGO was new, I already knew all this crap. Right, so I was saying this crap when FGO was a new game, and I'm pointing shit out, and I have to listen to all these people on copium, right? On emotional defenses, trying to defend these games and stuff, and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. It's like exhausting trying to explain to these people and break through their 80 layers of bullshit. Imagine needing 3 USOs to Grail Coup to 100. Yeah, that's basically what they did. Like, more or less. I'll at least give Gacha games this, and this is why I can play them. Now, interacting with the communities is what really drives me nuts. If I play in my own time and just play casually here and there, it doesn't really bother me. Because I just don't have a gambling addiction, and I don't have any desire to spend money on these games at all. And most of these games are they're a lot more reasonable for, I really think the reason these games have a reputation of not being free-to-play friendly is because people are actually dumb. Because like Dr. Silvergun, right, is not just playing free-to-play, he's handicapping the hell out of himself. If he just played free-to-play and used what he got intelligently, he wouldn't struggle with the stage ever. Same for me, right? You're not limited to 3 stars in FGO if you're free to play. You're not. At all. Not even close. And any of the friend support, for God's sakes, right? So all of these games are totally reasonable. It might be a bit, a bit hard here and there, but they're all completely reasonable to be played as free to play, and you get lots of cool characters to enjoy without needing to spend any money. And like I don't have that missing out feeling, right? If I can't get that one thing. Like I'll just get it later or get something else, and I like what I have, so who cares? So it's not really like a casino, because casinos don't let you play blackjack for free, right? Where these games give you lots of free rolls, right? They literally give you like money to go gamble with for free all of the time. And so that honestly makes the free-to-play experience pretty smooth in my case. I know for a lot of people they don't feel that way, or they're constantly feeling the urge to wail and stuff. Yeah, I agree with that. If it's completely PvP focused, then yeah, I agree. Then they're not free-to-play friendly at all. I definitely agree with that. The main thing is, for me, most gacha games aren't fun. That's why I don't play them. I'm not really affected by the gambling stuff. Now, being free to play in these games is the easiest thing in the world for me. It's the easiest thing in the world for me. And also, I'm smart enough to know how to like save my rolls for what I actually want, not what I vaguely want. So when something comes along that I really do want, I can get it easy. The thing is, most of these games are just not fun enough that I just don't give a shit. And like, think about FGO, you know, right now I'm literally just playing it for my stream. But FGO in the past has legitimately been very fun. Right, some of the main story stuff, fighting Gwaine and all the Camelot Knights back in the day on my weak-ass account and all that. That was a great time. Right, Lost Belt 7, Lost Belt 5-2, you know, Anniversary, Gwaine. I can think of all time, Quadia, when he came out. I've had great times in this game. I'm not gonna act like I haven't. I've had legitimate fun experiences, a lot of good boss fights, right? Yeah, the fucking, you know, the co-op account and all that. I've had a great time. But FGO has a lot of downtime where nothing interesting is happening. They'll have these peak moments. It's like, wow, this is actually really cool and this is really fun. But they're just getting worse, right? The game's getting worse with time. There's more filler than ever. There's less good stuff than ever. I don't really miss the 1 to 3 star account. I miss the co-op account. I liked the 1 to 3 star account up until Lost Belt like 3. Because at that point, it became so RNG. I could come up with the perfect strategy, bring the absolute best characters for the stage, and I would just have to do it over and over and over again until the value lined it up how I needed it. And that just wasn't fun. Like, you know what you need to have happen, and it's just RNG, and it's just I just did not care for that at all. And it just gets worse and worse. And what really messes the 1 to 3 stars up is one, I don't want to farm that much to maximize everything. That limited my options. And the 3-star craft essences are just crap. They're just, because 1 to 3 star units, no problem, right? That's fine. But the 1 to 3 star craft essences, no one will ever truly know how limiting that is unless they actually do it. I cannot put it into words, like how much weaker you are. When the 1 to 3 star units, obviously you're weaker, but it's reasonable. But then the 1 to 3 star craft essences, it's like, this shit ain't right. Right? Like, this shit is not right. Like, those two things combined were just so weak. Actually, I don't think God Juno would be very hard. And I don't think Doorman would either. Oh, you mean the fight when they're together? It might be a bit hard, but I don't think that'd actually be as bad as, like, Lee and Mothman. There's so much about, because you don't have the classes you need, especially now, because if you play God Juno now, you've got Ku with anti-berserker and stuff like that. It's not gonna be easy, mind you. I don't even remember what I said during Lee. I don't remember a single point that I made. I'm sure I was just angry and saying RNG sucks. I'm sure it was a lot of that. That's what it was. That fight was just pure RNG and there's nothing I can do about it. I do play that up. Like when I stream, it's not like I'm not like lying. If I express frustration, I am frustrated with something. Right? But like in my own life, some people legitimately think I have like rage issues. I don't at all. I don't rage out in real life ever, like at all. I have literally, it's the easiest thing ever to control my emotions for me. But it's more like I am frustrated by something and the internet doesn't matter, and so it's like I can play, you know, I can have fun with it. I can, like, normally I would control my emotions and not say some stupid bullshit, right? But when it's FGO on the internet, I can absolutely say some stupid bullshit, and no one's gonna, you know, what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna cancel me, right? It doesn't matter. But yeah, it's not like I'm never like I'm never like acting frustrated when I'm not frustrated. I'll just like let rip when otherwise I would be able to control myself and I would never let rip, right? That's basically what it is. And that's kind of like, that's I think how like streaming is kind of normally is, right? You have to like focus on a certain aspect of your personality and maybe play up an aspect of your personality. But you can't really fake, I mean you can, but like faking it generally doesn't work in my opinion. And I don't have a desire to fake it. Someone did make a Google Doc about me. That's happened twice. I had all these like left extreme. Got important to add the extreme. Oh no, I'll cut a bunch of woke people. There was a bunch of woke people in my Discord back in the day, and if you can't tell with the way that I act, woke people don't like me. I'm not even like really trying. It's just the way I am is pretty anti-woke. So you know it aggravates them a lot. And like just fundamentally the way I think and the way I like run the Discord and what I think is fair and what I think is unfair and what I'm gonna censor and not censor is woke people are not in line with that. And it was a lot of people that most of them were like in school still and stuff like that, and they were just very woke. And God, and a lot of what they said, they could just tell they didn't even know anything about me really. It was just kind of funny to me. And you know, they made this big Google Doc. It was so funny. They're chronically online people, yeah, very much that. One of them, years later, actually came back and apologized. But the rest of them didn't, and to be honest, I don't even remember their names. I remember like one of their names. It's been years, and I just don't fucking remember. I remember there was this one guy, this was a separate drama, but there was this one guy that, this was the weirdest thing. He was calling me like biased because I was nice to the people that were nice to me. I was like, sir, that's called friendship. And it was just really weird because like he was like just really on about like how I would have preferential treatment to people that I liked. I'm like, that's called friendship, right? Because it wasn't like I was doing something unfair to this guy. I didn't like ban this guy because it wasn't my friend, or I didn't, it wasn't anything like that. It was more like, hey, I like this guy, so I'll add him to my friends list, or I like this guy, so I'll play a game with him, or, you know, whatever. It was stuff, it was just so crazy. I don't remember that guy's name at all, though. I completely forgot that dude, but that guy like blew the fuck up. He like lost his mind. And then like there's a role on my Discord called like OG, and it's not referring to like the server. It's actually referring to like most of my real life friends that were on my Discord server before it blew up. And so I made a because you know, I just my Discord back in the day, you know, I had a lot more people on it than it does now. And the people that were on my Discord that had nothing to do with FGO, I just gave them that role and I gave them their own channel, right? So they can just ignore literally everything else, right? And then people found out about that role and were so angry. And I'm like, you're an idiot. And like people like wanted that role because they thought they like deserved it. I'm like, it's not a trophy. That's how a lot of them were acting. It was like they deserve the OG role. And so I'm like, what are you? I cannot express how dumb I thought that was. Because like I don't hold a Discord role in any degree of admiration at all. I don't care if you're a Discord admin or moderator. That's not a status symbol. That means nothing. If you're a Discord moderator, that means you have to do more work, right? And it's nothing. And the people that had the OG title, you know, again, they were just off in their own channel, ignoring everything, right? And I'm like, if I gave you that OG title, you are now going to be surrounded by a bunch of people that don't know anything about FGO, that you don't even know them, and they don't know you. Why would you want to? It's just stupid. Like, how dumb are you? It's a gym badge. I need it to progress. But yeah, it was pretty much that. And it was just, I could not, like, it was so impossible to communicate with these people because on such a fundamental level, I don't view, you know, Discord roles as anything of value, right? And then looking at people that have a role that they don't even know anything about, that they're viewing as value, and they're like envious of it. And I'm just like, this is the stupidest thing on planet Earth, right? It's like this, I'm not gonna respect this. Did I? No, I did not get the Roman stuff. I don't even know if I need it. I haven't really been paying attention if I need it or not. Yeah, thankfully I grew up without the internet. So, you know, I know, you know, it is what it is. It doesn't mean you can't have fun on the internet. I've met good friends through the internet. I've had great, meaningful experience because of the internet. But I also know how dumb it is. And, you know, it's no substitute for, you know, a healthy real life. So when people like, I articulated this very early on. So Discord blew my mind when my Discord got really popular, like at the peak of my stream. Because I wasn't chronically online, and I never had been. So it just kind of blew my mind, people that like, they spent all day on Discord, all day. And it was just so important to them. And then like, you know, when I found out there were people that had made a Discord to watch my streams and shit talk me on that Discord while watching me, right? And I'm like, who cares enough to do this? Right? Like, I cannot imagine getting my friends together and then like watching like some streamer I don't like. You know, who the fuck's a lame streamer? Like there was like Johnny Somali or whatever. I cannot fathom sitting down and like wanting to watch Low Tier God or whoever and make my own Discord to watch him and then like talk about him while he's streaming. That's pathetic. That's actually pathetic. And it's funny because people do that, you know, with DSP. I don't like DSP. That behavior is pathetic. That behavior is so fucking pathetic, right? Like it's like actually it's like something is wrong with you if you are like being that obsessive over something you don't even like, right? That it makes no sense. But yeah, that I had such a hard time for like a week, like just grasping like what is happening. Why do people care enough about some dude, you know, getting, you know, yelling about how dumb FGO is on the internet? Like I just like, why does anyone care about this enough to do that? It's so weird. And all the other, you know, issues that happen on Discord and stuff. I was just like, this is so fucking weird. That's why over time I kind of started phasing out, you know, caring as much, and you know, and FGO has stopped being as interesting too, right? So it's just like right now I'm doing a lot of real life stuff. I got a lot of like real life business stuff going on that I'm doing. And like the other day I had a great, yesterday was a fun day and I got a lot done, but like I was very busy. I was doing a lot of like important stuff. And I got home and I felt good. I'm like, yeah, that was a nice day, but I'm pretty tired, right? I've been doing a lot of random shit. And then when I got home and sat down, Lost was like, you know, the writer thing's out or whatever, or is about to come out. And I'm like, there is no world where I'm gonna sit down right now after all of that and like just sit down and play FGO and record it and then go edit a video and I love editing. I love editing. I don't have time for that right now. You know, maybe in a month or two, maybe I'll have time for that, right? But like, I'm not, there's just no world, right? There's no world where I'm gonna like exert that kind of effort right now when I have other things going on. And sometimes I don't have other things going on and I'm happy to, you know, edit 5 videos, right? It's great. But yeah, you just cannot have your life revolve around these things, dude. It's just, shit is not healthy. I have no idea what buttons I'm clicking right now. Actually, I'm a pretty small businessman because like things have gone well for me over the last few years. So I don't have to do a lot. That's why I say I'm kind of like pseudo retired because like I don't need to do a lot anymore. But sometimes I'll do things because there's some like, you know, landlord stuff and whatnot I have to do if I'm sane anyway. But then, you know, I'll help people, like I'll help my friends, you know, I'll help them cut their grass or whatever. You know, I'll go around, I'll do stuff. I like to be alive, right? I like to go, you know, live a life. It's nice. And so yeah, sometimes like if I'm doing, you know, business stuff and then I do other real life stuff for me and my friends, or I help somebody, or I got that shop I like to help out at sometimes. You know, I'll have a day where I do a bunch of that shit. I'm fucking tired. I'm not like mad, but I'm fucking tired. So I don't want to sit down and edit a video or whatever. Can you help me build a new PC? If I was there, I totally would. I've gotten a lot better at that. My brother is still way better than me. But I've actually gotten way better recently when I had to replace that graphics card. Then I had to replace the power supply. At first I was going to just replace the graphics card. And then I found out that the power supply I had was, even though on paper it was good enough for the graphics card, it was enough power, it really wasn't. So then I had to also replace the power supply. I had to switch out the graphics card back and forth like 10 times. And I had to switch out like, it's a mess. So, and now I need to replace the CPU.
and now I'm fucked because, what do I have? I think I have I have like the very best 10th generation CPU, right? And the motherboard I have can support, I think up to the 11th generation. But the 11th generation is not actually better than the 10th generation. So it doesn't help. And so if I want, yeah, I know, Intel. If I want, like the 13th generation or 14th generation CPU, I have to get a new motherboard. And then you might as well just start over, right? If you have to get a new motherboard, you might as well just start over because now you have to do everything. So, yeah, it sucks. I hate having to deal with, like, all that bullshit right now, but, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I can definitely help with that kind of stuff if you want, boy. If I'm not there physically, you know, I can't actually help with it, but I do know a decent amount about that stuff now. So does Lost, by the way. Lost knows stuff. But yeah, in recent years, I've learned more and more about that stuff. Which, it's fun. It's actually a fun thing to learn. But anyway, back on my point. Chronically online people are, like, hard to, like, even understand because, like, their priorities are so warped. Like, they're so fucking warped. That, like, it's just very difficult to actually, like, have a conversation with them and, like, have it go anywhere. I should make a new PC setup, but I just don't want to deal with it right now. I'm literally just too lazy for it right now. Damn, didn't kill. I mean, really, because I got that new graphics card and a new power supply, it wouldn't even be that expensive, really, if I'm smart about it. But it's more of the time I don't want to deal with. Yeah, like, the internet can be honestly it can be extremely good for you because it can allow you to meet people you never other meet. You can, like, see cultures you never see. It's actually very good for broadening your horizons, but it has to be in moderation. Like, if the internet's not in moderation, it is going to fuck you up. It'll destroy your, like, priorities and your reference to reality. There's so many problems. Yeah, I've heard. I've never had to, like, fully disconnect. I mean, sometimes I'll go without using the internet for a while just because of things going on. But, like, I've never had to, like, oh, I need to put this down and stop because I've just never had that kind of issue. But I know a lot of people do. That's probably the right call. It's kind of like drinking. Or if you have a drinking problem, you need to just stop fucking drinking. You know, some people, you know, can drink casually and stuff. I'm kind of lucky because I can definitely get really into a new experience, but I don't know why this is, but I look back at my life and I talk to people that knew me when I was young. I've always been this way. I am just totally lucky. I don't know, maybe I had good role models that helped, I don't know. But, like, I have always had a very easy time of, like, looking at myself objectively. So even if I am really enjoying something, it's not hard for me to be like, but yeah, I need to go outside, and yeah, I need to make money, and yeah, I need to eat, I need to exercise, right? Though I always have been very capable of keeping my priorities and, like, knowing something is bad for me if I do it too much. So I don't really struggle with, like, putting something down, right? That's easy for me, right? So lucky me. But I do sympathize because I know it's not that easy for some people. Because you see this a lot with, like, sickness, right? You might have, like, a boss at a job that when they get sick, they don't get very sick. So they think everyone that, like, calls in sick for multiple days and stuff, they're faking. Oh, they're lazy, blah, 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 blah. Right? And maybe sometimes they are, but some people, when they get sick, they just get really fucking sick, right? Like we're not all the same with things like that. And addiction is definitely like that, where it affects people very differently. Is Chris Chan the Sonic nutso? Yeah, I've known people in real life that had serious gambling problems, and I don't mean gacha games. I mean actual gambling, and I don't even know what to say, man. It's just the most messed up thing. It's just crazy to see someone that's otherwise, you know, well put together just destroy themselves. I knew 2 people quite well that had serious gambling problems, and one of them got over it and the other one didn't. And that one I completely lost contact with. Oh yeah, he did assault someone, didn't he? I forgot about all that. Yeah, talk about chronically online. But yeah, I mean, life's hard for a lot of people, man. It's not, you know, it's not easy to get your brain sorted out sometimes, you know, depending on your upbringing and your role models and all that stuff. Yeah, I try to not to have like, you know, too much pride about it. It's like, might have been easy for me to figure some of those things out, but it's not easy for everybody. And a lot of people, they really are trying. Well, most of them are. That's when I am like disappointed in people, or, you know, annoyed with someone, is when they're just not even trying to better themselves or figure it out. Alright. Oh my god, I don't want to do this fucking stage anymore. I might wrap it up here in a minute. It's nice to get this done and out of the way, but like, Jesus Christ. Oops, did it in the wrong order, but it won't really matter. He went to prison? Jesus. And personally, I think this shit matters a lot. It's easy to like look at society and like, oh, it's falling apart and this, that, and the other, but you know, it's brick by brick. Like when you don't have your shit together, and you can't really expect society to have its shit together, right? If you want things to get better around you, you have to do better yourself. And yeah, it's hard. It's not fair. Life's not reasonable. But I see a lot of people that have like given up, and then they expect the world to fix it for them, and it's like, that is not going to work. It's kind of like if you're out in the wilderness, right? You're out in a forest or something, and you just expect the forest to fix it for you. That ain't going to happen. All charges got dropped. What a sentence. All right, how many times have we done this? I am kind of desperate though to find a game that like will be good for streaming, because some days I don't have a lot to do, and I'm happy to stream and hang. Like, I love my chat. I mean, like, my regulars that have been with me for a long time now, like, the best. I mean, like, it's just, and I hate when I don't stream for a long time. I kind of hate it because I feel like I'm letting them down. It has nothing to do with like, you know, and I when I am streaming something, I really do enjoy it. It's just I need a game, you know, that has some like long-term value to it that I actually like and chat likes, and you know, those don't come along every day. So yeah, we should play more EDF. It's a good time. Yeah, I apologize, I've been streaming so little. It's not gonna last forever. I will stream more in the future. It's not like this is petering out and I'm gonna disappear and be gone. That's not gonna happen. Like right now, I'm really busy. I got just shit I gotta do, and there's kind of a lull in games I'm happen to be interested in right now. Or the games I'm interested in are just horrible stream games. I mean, that happens all the time, where there's games like, yeah, I'd be happy to play that, but holy shit, that's just a terrible stream game. But yeah, right now I'm just busy, you know, but it will not last. It will not last. I'll, the way my life is right now, it's kind of how it goes. There's just times where I'm really busy, and then there's other times where I have a lot of spare time. So when I have spare time, I'm happy to stream. But yeah, I really haven't been streaming as much as I'd like. I'll try to sort that out. But yeah, once I have a game like, yep, really like that game, then it'll be a lot easier. Yeah, I figure the people worth a damn will stick around. Although, you know, they're all algorithms, right? You have people that like your stuff and are happy to watch your stuff, but then they don't watch you for a long time because you're not doing anything for a long time, and then the algorithm won't let them know that you are doing something, and then they, you know, that's just, you know, that's the internet. It is what it is. Oh, pizza. So, yeah, I know, Neon White. But pizza, how do you feel about IBO so far? Like, how far in are you? Man, I respect Hollow Knight. I don't care about it at all. I'm glad people are enjoying it. I know there's like a hate bandwagon of all these like developers that are like mad because they released it without like any hype, and it was like boom, it's out of nowhere, and they're mad that there was no review copies and that it's so cheap, right? All these devs are angry at them. You know, I don't care about any of that. You know, good for them. I'm super happy it's successful. Very fair business model. I mean, bless them. I want them to make money. They deserve it. I want them to make all the money. But I just don't like those kind of games, man. I do not like all this backtracking, running around bullshit. I just don't give a fuck. And I watched one boss fight. And now it's only one boss fight, so I understand this is not a good sample size. But I watched one boss fight, and it looked completely memorization based. Just 100%. It was just like every attack, there's no way you could possibly have dodged that the first time you saw it. But once you know, oh, you're supposed to stand over here, you're supposed to stand over there. You know, it's just Simon Says, right? I don't enjoy those kind of games. If you do, that's great. That's great. You know, have fun. And I'm not envious at their success. I think they deserve it. If there's a game that's come out recently that should get all this money, it's definitely them. So that's awesome. But it is just not. It's not my kind of game. It's just like RTS, right? Some people are just not cut out for RTS. Doesn't mean RTS is bad. I think the funniest part of Silk Song is pirates telling pirates to not pirate the game. Because, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's $20. Right? Like, I mean, how are you not gonna just, you know, like, it's such a fair deal. It's unreal. This, I think, is an interesting topic, though. So a lot of devs were angry that Silk Song, one of the most hyped games of the, you know, decade, was pretty radio silent. And then all of a sudden, they're like, okay, game's coming out in 2 weeks. And then it just, boom. Right? And a lot of devs, indie and non-indie, I don't know about a lot, but a chunk. There's people. They're like upset. And this has happened with a lot of games. This happened with Elden Ring, all kinds of stuff. People are mad, like, how dare you release in this window, because it's going to affect my game. Right? And anyway, all these people are like, you know, they owed the industry more warning than that. Right? So the industry could, like, move their schedules around. So they don't lose sales and stuff. And I'm like, that's not their responsibility. And I really respect Yoshi P, the head dev of Final Fantasy XIV, because when the Elden Ring DLC was conflicting with their schedule and what they wanted to do, they didn't make a fuss. They actually made a joke about it, and they did like a big presentation where they were like, yeah, we're delaying the expansion, and it's because of Elden Ring. And like, yeah, I want to play it too. And they were very like tongue-in-cheek about it, and because the thing is, that's their responsibility. If they're like, yeah, Elden Ring is probably going to hurt our sales, we'll be the one to wait. We're not going to try to tell them that they owe us this, right? They can release whenever they want. If we're the one that are scared of them, we need to move, right? Like, if you think you can't compete with Silk Song, one, you can compete with Silk Song. You actually can make a good game, thank you. But if you don't think you can compete with Silk Song, that's your problem, and you're the one that needs to move. They don't owe you warning, right? They don't have to give you a 6 months or any of this shit. They can release whenever the hell they want. Because they put in the work, by the way. Right? They're the ones that worked on that game for ages, and they're like a 3-man dev, for God's sakes, right? So they get to release whenever the fuck they want. Yeah, I loved that when they delayed Final Fantasy, though, because they were just so, like, positive about it. You know, and that's smart. That's smart. Because, yeah, it's negative for them messing up their, like, release schedule and their internal plans and stuff. But, you know, they're just like, yeah, we can't do anything about it. Shit happens, and they just roll with the punches, and they had fun with it. And that made people a lot more positive about it. So, you know, good for them. Yeah, I would have delayed Elden Ring, too. That game made waves like nothing else. So, yeah, I would have dodged that bullet, too. Now, Elden Ring is pretty hard to compete with. Because although FromSoft is not a company that has all the money, they have a sizable amount of money. And, you know, they're abnormally talented, I would say, and they were in development for a long time. So when they come out, you know, that's hard to compete with. Like, indie games, anyone can compete with because it's a 3-man studio, where the big devs, you know, they have whole teams and stuff. There's just no reason you should have an issue with that kind of stuff. But yeah, bless Silk Song, but definitely not my kind of game. Yeah, I think that Lost was saying the same way. Like, I don't enjoy these games where you're just backtrack and running around, repeating stuff and memorize the hell out of things. I'm just not into that. But it's well made, right? Because I know some people like that. They're all about that kind of thing. They like memorizing boss fights and it being really strict about that. And they like running around and, you know, Metroidvania stuff. And, you know, good for them. It looks like it's one of the better games that's been made in that genre. So, yeah, it definitely deserves the hype. Yeah, I learned that when I was pretty young. There's a difference between something that's just not my cup of tea versus actually being bad, right? And there's many games I'm like, holy shit, this is not my cup of tea, but it's still made really well. You can see the polish, the quality, you know, the intent, and that's great. I enjoy that. I haven't bought any games at $80. I might eventually if the right game comes along. But, I mean, I don't buy a lot of AAA stuff. They just kind of suck. Like, it's very rare. I mean, you know, FromSoft stuff is good. We'll see if they go with the $80 model or not. I think they are on the Switch, but I don't think they have a choice in that. So when they put their own stuff out on PC, we'll see. Anyways, chat, I need to eat something or I'm going to die. That's how that works. We will raid Cairo. And I have absolutely no idea when I'm streaming right now because my schedule is fucked. So I'll stream when I can. We'll see. I have no idea what I'm going to play. We'll wing it. I tell you, I did enjoy that Oddworld game, though. It gave me insane eye strain, though. That game, I think it's the field of view is why. And I think that's why Darksiders 2 gives me bad eye strain. Anyway, I'm out. Oh, Night Rain. Right. That's right, Night Rain tomorrow. I will do my best to stream. I'll tell you what, I'll definitely be free late at night. So if I don't have time before that, I will at least stream it late at night. So that I will get it in there somewhere. Yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, we'll see. Anyways, peace out, everybody.